From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
Bringing the heat. To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, April 17th. Your top story. Getting ready for more wet weather.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Jessica Ty. A ceasefire remains in effect in the Middle East.
Flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until Saturday morning. You expect rounds of rain this evening with a high of 76, overnight low 42. Got to be chilly on your Saturday with highs struggling to reach 50. It's 69 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, severe weather not done yet in Wisconsin. Storms expected tonight.
Forecasters are watching conditions closely as another round of storms move in, with the potential of isolated tornado development. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Kopleen.
Potential for tornadoes is higher in southwest Wisconsin than here in southeast Wisconsin. But to be clear, there's not no potential for tornadoes in southeast Wisconsin. It's just higher from around Madison to the west, but the potential does exist from Madison all the way over to Milwaukee.
Kopleen says 2 inches of rain are likely, as Milwaukee has already seen 6 to 7 inches of rain since Monday night. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
As southeast Wisconsin braces for more of that rain, the city's Metropolitan Sewerage District is looking towards the long term when it comes to solutions to flood management.
MMSD Executive Director Kevin Schaefer tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're hoping to accelerate 4 storage basin projects already in the works, including one at Jackson Park.
Where we're going to reshape that park, clean out the lagoon, but also add flood storage capability to the park itself.
And once those projects are complete,
you're looking at probably 220 million gallons of additional flood storage built into these waterways.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Unanimously reappointing Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky.
Lipsky received endless praise from the Fire and Police Commission.
You've got sort of, I'm going to cut through red tape with a machete kind of vibes, right? Like you're just like, I'm not going to take no for an answer when it's something that the people need.
It's like we love you, not just because you're a good fire chief, not because you're a great fire chief, because you're a great person.
The chief gets another 4-year term with an annual salary of $245,000.
This is my life's calling, and my life's calling isn't just to be a firefighter, it is to be a Milwaukee firefighter.
Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
A measure renewing a surveillance program that's raised privacy concerns now is heading to President Trump after a raucous overnight session on Capitol Hill.
Republican House members held a series of back-to-back votes that failed before pushing the stopgap measure. Opponents of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act say it has been misused many times, including by the FBI as it searched intelligence related to the January 6th attack on the Capitol and racial justice protests in 2020. President Trump has lobbied for a clean renewal of the program without changes. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
The program was set to expire Monday, but now has been extended through at least April 30th.
With the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon now in effect, there's hope that it'll lead to lasting peace in the region. News Nation's Robert Sherman reports from Tel Aviv.
The Prime Minister of Israel saying this: the job is not yet finished. We also have another objective, the disarmament of Hezbollah. And I say this honestly, it will not be achieved tomorrow. It requires sustained effort, patience, and careful navigation in the diplomatic arena. The hope is that diplomacy starts to take fold in the coming days, as the president has invited both the Lebanese president as well as the Israeli prime minister to the White House.
The U.S.-Israeli conflict with Iran began February 28th. Thousands of people have died due to the inability to stabilize the Middle East.
News about your money now, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. With the news that Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz completely open, stocks have gone up all day today, and that remains the case as we start the afternoon. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all up big, with the Dow the big winner so far, more than 1,100 points in the green at 49,678. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ up more than 1.5% each. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Wait, who is starting for the Brewers tonight? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PelloWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 4/31/26. Take it home this April at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. 300 grand is on the line, and you're at bat to win your share. Just play with your rewards card for entries, prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your April drawing entries all count toward another prize drawing in June. It's the Base Race Game Show. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Bucks GM John Horst is leading the search for the next head coach of the franchise. Bucks president Josh Glessing believes uncertainty surrounding the future of Giannis will not cloud the process.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, these things change and they evolve year over year, and that is the nature of professional sports. But I'm committing to holding people accountable. I'm committing to driving the best result on court. And an ownership group that's committed to providing the resources to do that. And I think we've got that in place.
The Bucks will learn its draft position at the NBA's draft lottery on May 10th. After taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe expected to start for the Brewers and make his major league debut. Coverage gets underway at 5:35 on WTMJ.
To the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. A few pockets of slowdowns right where you'd expect around the stadiums, where we see one of them, which on 94 between Mitchell Boulevard and 35th Street, either direction. Also a touch slow north on 4145, Highway 100 up to about Capitol Drive. It's also just a tap on the brakes as you're working your way through the Marquette towards the high-rise bridge south on 43. And I want to remind everyone again about this closure off the freeway system. Capitol Drive between Brookfield and Pilgrim Road is shut down. We had a fallen power line earlier that crews are still working on in the area. That came in about an hour and a half ago, so we're still working on that. Again, Capitol Drive between Brookfield and Pilgrim Road closed in both directions due to that fallen power line.
Flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until Saturday morning. Partly cloudy. Storms expected this evening. Some could be very severe. High of 76. Low of 42. Saturday, rain ends, then mostly sunny. Much cooler, however, a high of just 50 degrees. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Sunny and cool on Sunday with a high of 47. 68 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Role reversal. Greg in for Greg, Adam in for Jessica, Gina in for Gina. And did we try and have AI make the open there? That was an AI thing. That's
why
okay.
you can't trust it.
Well, you just can't. Not all of the time.
You can't defeat the robots.
Yeah, so Jessica is out. I think she said she was going to Door County. It might have been vertical leap training. I've kind of lost track, to be honest with you. But she'll be back on Monday. Happy to have Adam here for a 3-hour Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, the owners of Rigland Farms and the Dane County Sheriff's Office are preparing for a large-scale animal rights demonstration planned for Sunday at Rigland Farms in Blue Mounds. Ridgeland Farms, one of the largest breeders of beagles, specifically for biomedical research. They've been around for 60 years. Organizers claim roughly 2,000 volunteers have signed up to assist in removing each and every beagle currently being housed. Activist A.B. Bronner says the group is trained in nonviolent behavior.
We would love to resolve this without having to go there ourselves, if Ridgeland was willing to release the dogs themselves, or if law enforcement were to facilitate this happening. That said, I am sympathetic to Ridgeland's position in this, and that I do think from their perspective it is scary. And if they're listening, I want to reassure them. We are completely nonviolent. All we want to do is help the dogs.
A similar activation in March brought about 100 activists to the farm, and just this week, 70 charges were filed against 63 different individuals. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett says he emphasizes or empathizes with animal welfare concerns, but also is emphasizing that illegal acts will not be tolerated.
We here at our sheriff's office, me as a family man, me as a sheriff, cares about the well-being of not just the people of our community, but of the animals as well. But we have to draw a decisive line between peacefully protesting and disagreeing and violently breaking into a facility, damaging property, and stealing private property. As the sheriff's office, our top priority is to keep and maintain the peace. And that is what we will do.
Ridgeland Farms is not getting into their specific security upgrades, but they have notified anybody who is willing to listen that they have upgraded their security in advance of Sunday's planned demonstration.
With the U.S.-Iran ceasefire set to end on Tuesday, a major move was made this morning. Iran announcing the Strait of Hormuz now open to all commercial vessels for the remainder of that ceasefire. However, President Trump says the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports is going to continue until a deal is fully complete, indicating that talks could happen this weekend. Meanwhile, there's questions remaining over just how safe, even with the strait open, it is for boats to traverse it. It's known that mines have been placed by Iran in the strait, but it's not known what the level of risk is to ships. CBS's Charlie DeGatta in Tel Aviv.
They have been checking out that Strait of Hormuz. They went in very quickly and they passed through. And there is a level of confidence that there isn't the sort of mines there, but it's always a risk. The Iranians themselves say they don't know how many mines that they've got there.
Charlie referring there to a pair of Navy destroyers who went through the strait. They weren't necessarily mine sweepers, but they were able to detect those mines. Meanwhile, we're seeing on Wall Street, you heard the market update. Stocks are going up amid the news. Oil prices also dropping today. We'll check in with CBS's Linda Kenyon coming up in about 20 minutes for the latest.
Another round of severe weather being forecast for southeastern Wisconsin. Tornadoes possible in addition to damaging straight-line winds and hail, heavy rain, lightning, pretty much everything on the table.
The time frame for the highest potential for this rough weather, the torrential, potentially flooding rains and tornadoes, is between 5 and 11 o'clock this evening. I wouldn't completely rule out a rogue thunderstorm or two developing even before that.
That's WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. Most areas in southeastern Wisconsin have seen more than 8 inches of rain this month. That's already a record, and you can expect another inch or so tonight. The other thing to pay attention to here is temperature. So we'll be about 80 degrees inland today. The other side of the storms is going to bring in a cold front. We'll struggle to reach 50 degrees on Saturday, and we're not forecasted to reach 50 on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, especially with how warm it has been. And that's been the fuel for a lot of this as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on things very closely. If any severe weather breaks into tornado warnings, we'll obviously be on top of it here on WTMJ.
Coming up next, the sun should be out this weekend, and a big day tomorrow, an annual event, and a way to give back to the community. We'll go through it and explain the details after this.
It's early in the year, but if you want that outdoor living project, that dream outdoor oasis started, you need to visit Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. Nobody has a showroom like it. Bring your ideas, get new ideas, but let's design and build a backyard together. New deck, outdoor kitchen, fire pit, screen room, even a putting green or an automated pergola. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
No matter the month, no matter the time of year, a Wisconsin fish fry is a great tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure. Another great tradition is that fish fry at the famous Fox and Hounds. Experience 90 years of history at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Log Cabin Supper Club near Holy Hill. The fish fry there, one of the best, and all of the dinners, by the way, are get one free when you buy one. Honey glazed salmon, pan-fried walleye, steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, any entree, buy one, get one free, desserts and ice cream drinks. Yummy, and buy one, get one free. After a long week, relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, kind of hugged by the Kettle Moraine Forest. Right off Highway 167 near beautiful Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is stunning, a must-see. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Dinner today at 4 p.m. Dine early. Tables are open. Google, call, and reserve your all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. The famous Fox and Hounds.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
A warm day today, rain coming tonight, high of 80 degrees if you're inland, a little cooler near the lake. Storm activity, the window appears to be somewhere between 5 and 11 tonight, and rain could linger into the overnight hours. Some of it could be severe. We'll try and dial in timing throughout the program today. The weekend's going to be chilly. You'll see plenty of sun on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures struggling to reach 50 on both days. It's 69 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:16.
Torilo. Torilo. Torilo.
A man so great he's got his own theme song. He carries this around wherever he goes, as a matter of fact. And a great weekend event we want to talk about it. It's Tori Lowe's Community Cleanup. It takes place tomorrow, Saturday, April 18th. Tori Lowe, host of the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth, is back in studio. Thanks for joining
thank y'all
us.
for having me.
I love the theme song. Now, did you do this? Did you create this?
Yeah, I got a production team. They try to make sure
You have a whole team?
Well, it's producers, couple producers, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's good, right? You need to have that wherever you go. Any building you walk in, any door that opens, they got to know.
And the kids love it. When I go talk about bullying in the schools, I play that to get everybody, going, and then we have the tough conversations that we need to have about bullying.
Well, you are such an inspiration to so many in the Milwaukee community, Tor, and you do so many things to try and give back. This community is meaningful to you, and your annual cleanup event is recognition of that. This is an opportunity to get out, clean up some areas of Milwaukee, areas that you're very familiar with, and we're doing this tomorrow.
Well, it's never been a better time than now because we got issues with the drains being clogged. We got to get some of that trash up off the earth, and like I said, every year we try to get out. Last year we had removed 10,000 gallons of trash total, So this year we probably going to have more than 300 people out here volunteering. I heard that the weather was going to be nice, at least not as bad as it is in the evenings.
You'll get some sun, I think.
We may get some sun. Hopefully God smile down on us and the volunteers. But like I said, it's a beautiful event. We got 3 locations. We're going to be on 76th Street out there by Evolve Church. And then we're going to go over to Capitol, 2031 West Capitol Drive over there by Pitt's Mortuary. And then we'll end at Martin Luther King Junior Elementary School on 3275 North 3rd Street with the mobile unit from MMSD collecting hazardous waste materials all day from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The mobile unit will be out at Dr. Martin Luther King Elementary School from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. just collecting your hazardous waste material out the garage, out the basement. We're trying to do a deep cleaning this year.
I'm glad you brought up the flooding as well that we've had this week. And I was wondering if you've seen, as the organizer for the event, an uptick, whether it's either people signing up or just the engagement you're getting on the event when you put it out on social media, given what we've seen this week.
I would know probably this evening. Probably around 1 o'clock. I usually get those numbers. But like I said, yesterday we had a huge uptick too. We went from, I think it was 189 to almost 250.
Oh.
So like I said, and then we only got 1 day left. And once again, it's going to be a beautiful event. This is the time to really get the community together after all of the flooding, making sure that we get out there, get some off those drains. I say if you don't make it out to the cleanup, make sure you get 1 bag of trash off the neighborhood.
Tori Lowe's community cleanup starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning at 6550 North 76th Street. I did this a couple of years ago, Tori. We were out together with a big group of people.
Appreciate it.
It really enjoyed it. And, as we were cleaning up a certain area, I think we were down near Riverside High School, and we had people coming out of their front doors saying thank you.
Yes.
People take pride in their community. They want to have a clean community,
definitely
right?
want to have a
and
clean
it's hard for one person to do the work of 300, and that's kind of what tomorrow is all about, getting 300 people out to clean an area so people feel pride in where they live.
Well, once people clean up, they don't want nobody to mess it up. And once you get out there and physically do it yourself, now you're more watching and have more pride in the area that you live in. And this is something that we have to teach the kids, to be able to beautify their city, have great pride in their neighborhoods. And many times kids, families bring their whole family come out during this time to make sure that they teach those kids this lesson.
One of the things that's come up, Tori, especially yesterday, as we saw the response, particularly from electeds in the city, was litter. Mm-hmm. Whether it was DPW, whether it was Mayor Johnson or Alderwoman Andrea Pratt, who put a whole statement out on things, that litter was a big element of the flooding this time around. You see as much of the city as anyone I know. Give us the current state of litter in Milwaukee. How bad are things right now?
Well, I'll say this. From my eyes, sometimes some areas look like a trash dump, a lot of illegal dumping going on in a lot of neighborhoods, and that just brings down the pride level. Then people just start throwing trash out because it's already got certain elements of trash all the way around. So what we want to do is make sure that we do our job as a community to be an example of what we want to see. And many times litter is an issue, especially with the drains. So like I said, we can get together, we can do it, but we got to maintain it. And one thing I'll say, if you don't like the flooding and you don't like the backup things that are going on, maybe your community may have been hit by a flood or from the weather, get out, clean the drains, get the neighborhood together, do a cleanup. Spring cleaning is here. We got to get that spring cleaning in. And I cut my hair, so
you did.
I definitely cut my hair. So I figured let me start with my my hair was starting to get all over the place. So I cut my hair. And
well, Tori Lowe and 101.7 The Truth is spearheading tomorrow's effort. If it's something that you're compelled to join us in, you can do so by texting the word cleanup to our talk and text line 855-616-1620. Send you all the information. You can just show up and have fun and clean for an hour, bring the family out to one of these locations or stay for the whole time. And as a bonus, MMSD providing hazardous waste pickup at the final stop from 8 to 2 p.m. at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School. I want to ask you more about some of the work you do, Tori. I mean, this is one of many efforts you do in the community. How do you prioritize what the biggest challenges are in Milwaukee, right? There's challenges with education. There's challenges with crime. There's challenges with having the right housing for individuals, right? And you're on the front line. You are literally door to door in these communities. Right. What do you think is the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is resources and information. Like sometimes people have the resources, but they're not capable of getting the resources, the information out to the masses. And then sometimes people don't even know where to go, many times when something happens. So we have to make sure we, as people that deal with communications, be a source where people can come and get the resource. We got to connect the people with the resource sometimes. Many times with me, I'm a connector. If somebody calls me, in my mind, I'll be like, okay, why didn't you go online and try to figure this out? But many times
some people can't go online.
Some people can't. And so what I realize is that what we have to do is be good stewards of being resources for our neighbors. And many times we wonder, what can we do? I always say, if you could just become a resource for people in your area, that's the best thing we can do. And then many times we have to hold those people that have the resources accountable for doing the work.
Could you see, and I know we're looking in the crystal ball a little bit with this question, but because there's been so much interest in the cleanup, especially these last few years, is there a future where maybe you could coordinate multiple cleanups in a year, maybe a spring-fall situation?
Well, before I became a radio show host, I used to be out there all summer helping people organize cleanups through social media. I would say, if you got a neighborhood that needs cleaning up, but I need you, not the person that lives on the block. Right. I'm not coming to pick up your trash just so you can look out the window and see Tori Lowe out there picking up the trash. No, I want you to organize your block to have a cleanup, and I'll come help. And I did that for years. So I think that we all have to make sure that people are not doing things for people, but helping assist them to do it. And that's what I did for many years. And moving forward, like I said, if people have areas where they think that we have to need a little extra TLC, call me and I'll help you organize the area to clean that up.
Nobody helps move Milwaukee communities forward quite like Tori Lowe. We appreciate all the work you do, Tori. Check out the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth from 1 to 4. He's about to go on, but kind enough to stop in here as part of his pre-show.
Hey, I love when y'all have me on the show.
Hey, it's great to have you on. And if you want to learn about this cleanup and join the crew tomorrow, be a lot of volunteers out doing good things in these communities. Text the word cleanup to 855-616-1620. Good stuff, Tori, man. I appreciate you doing this and all the work that you do.
And at the last stop, we got food. So
they can't beat that.
If you come out do the cleanup, we got food for you as well.
Well, perfect. It all starts at 8 o'clock. Text cleanup to 855-616-1620. We appreciate it, Tori. Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
1225 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. Don't forget we're on YouTube as well. Watch the program if you'd like. Adam just gave you a wave. Yeah, we're on the radio, but we're also broadcast. So, yeah, hop into our studio with us on our YouTube page.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime.
I love spring.
I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers.
These are amazing.
Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of?
Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds.
Wow. I'm buying this one. How much?
$185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270.
This cross?
$90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious.
Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well.
Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Milwaukee Weight Loss. It was my journey last year, lost 45 pounds. It's the secret to taking the weight off quickly and then keeping it off. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to £1 pound per day. For a limited time, get $200 off with their spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly Siding, and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, truly siding, and a whole lot more.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or your local CVS.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Natzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, April 17th. The top story, rescued off a cliff after getting stuck in the mud.
I'm Adam Roberts, centering the next state Supreme Court race.
Flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until Saturday morning. Storms this evening after a high of about 80 degrees inland. A little cooler near the lake. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. We cool off on Saturday with a high of 50.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tobuski. President Trump now tells ABC that the United States will be working with Iran to remove their nuclear material, what he calls nuclear dust, and that it will be brought to the United States. There's been no word from the Iranian government on that front, but it does come after this morning the president announced the Strait of Hormuz has been reopened. However, a U.S. naval blockade against Tehran will stay in effect until a deal is complete. Former U.S. Special Envoy for Middle East Peace, David Hale.
They no longer have leverage, so now it's a question of whether we can continue to keep sufficient pressure on in order to be able to get a diplomatic agreement that is suitable for the United States.
The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which had been set to expire on Monday, now has a few more days to be debated on in Congress. This morning, the Senate approved a 10-day extension of that law, which allows the government to surveil the communications of those abroad, including Americans, without the need for a warrant. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 12:31.
A large emergency response in Cudahy ends with a successful rescue.
Dispatch 1 on command. Upgrade this to a technical rescue card.
Message received. Did you still want the Coast Guard?
Yeah, that's affirmative if we can get them.
That was scanner audio from Broadcastify. The Cudahy Fire Department was called to Warren Mount Park just after 3 a.m. to rescue a man who had sunk up to his knees in mud along the lakefront. Rescuers used a technical rope operation to reach him, sending a crew member down to check on his condition and stabilize him. The man was then transported by boat with help from multiple agencies, including the United States Coast Guard. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
And the department is warning individuals to avoid muddy lakefront areas, especially with more rain expected.
As many Milwaukeeans clean up from this week's flooding with that more rain on the way, the city today kicking off its annual Project Clean and Green Cleanup, giving residents a chance to get rid of large items like furniture and flood-damaged belongings, with pickup scheduled on regular trash days through the month of June. Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
When residents have the opportunity to clean out unwanted items and refresh their spaces, it supports healthier homes and it supports healthier neighborhoods. For residents dealing with the effects of the recent flooding, a really great and again timely opportunity to dispose of some of those items that may have been damaged by the water.
The program kicking off April 20th.
Decision Wisconsin, less than 2 weeks after Judge Chris Taylor won a seat on the state Supreme Court, campaigning for the next race begins. Clark County Circuit Judge Lindsey Burnett running as a Liberal candidate for the seat on the bench in 2027. The winner of next year's election will replace retiring conservative Justice Sinette Ziegler. The court's Liberal majority now stands at 5-2 after an election decided by 20 percentage points last week.
Wisconsin's unemployment rate climbing to 3.4% in the month of February. The Department of Workforce Development says that's still a full point below the national rate of 4.4%. The state added around 1,500 jobs over the month, but total non-farm jobs dropped by more than 10,000. Wisconsin's labor force participation rate climbed to nearly 65%, which is well above the national average.
Uke, a documentary about the late, great baseball legend, premieres at the Milwaukee Film Festival.
The crew announcing Thursday night that the film will see a Marcus Theaters premiere. Co-director Michael Volman making his directorial debut.
It's one of those projects that my 12-year-old self would be absolutely astonished that, we're here tonight.
Volman says Bob Ueker's family has seen the film.
It basically was handed to the family. They're kind of our collaborators at this point, and they've been great and supportive and encouraging, and, really glad that I think they're happy with the film.
The film is set to be distributed to Marcus Theaters late summer.
So hopefully everybody in the state of Wisconsin will have a chance to see the film.
Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
It's off to the Sunshine State for your Milwaukee Brewers. Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
In 2027, the world's most captivating stories come to life with Fox Group Vacations and Insight Vacations. From the refined charm of France and the Greek islands to the historic warmth of southern Italy and the mysteries of Dracula's castle in Romania, our journeys go beyond the postcard. Enjoy the premium comfort, curated dining, and authentic local connections alongside a community of friends. Elevate your 2027 travel plans. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book today.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Thinking of building or remodeling? Then don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour this weekend. See new homes, condos, subdivisions, and lots all over southeastern Wisconsin from MBA Builders. The MBA spring tour sites will showcase new home building trends and floor plans, energy-efficient products, fixtures and appliances, structured wiring, home automation, security systems, and interior design. Don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour, presented by Nuns this weekend. Visit MBAspringtour.com for locations.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Milwaukee enters the day with a record of 10-8. President of Baseball Operations, Matt Arnold.
We have some guys coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but we're hopefully able to get through this, and honestly, I think we'll be better because of it, because I do think it really allows some young guys to get some opportunities here and show what they can do.
Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crow expected to start for the Brewers tonight and make his major league debut. Coverage gets underway at 5:35. And the NFL Draft begins Thursday of next week. The Packers are currently armed with 8 selections.
You lose like a Parsons, a great player. You can't have that. I look at these teams, if on paper, they're as good as anybody on paper, but they got to have their guys out there, and they got to be healthy.
That's ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper. No first-round pick for the Packers. They gave up their first-round draft pick this year and next in the trade for Micah Parsons.
Check the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We're picking up right where we left off around 12 o'clock. Mostly just slow around the stadium, 94 east and west between Mitchell Boulevard and 35th Street, and north on 4145 from Highway 100 up towards Capitol Drive. We do still have this closure off the freeway system on Capitol between Brookfield Road and Pilgrim Road. There was that power line that fell down earlier, and crews are still working on that. So if you're headed in that direction, you'll need to take an alternate route, either Lisbon and Hampton Road to the north or maybe North Avenue to the south. But Capitol Drive between Brookfield and Pilgrim Roads closed right now.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Well, nice day today, but the storms roll in later tonight. Those could be severe. They could bring about a tornado watch. They could bring about more warnings. A lot of what we've seen here the last several days back in play tonight. That includes hail and damaging straight-line winds. Until we get to that point, you're looking at a high of about 80 degrees and muggy conditions here, a little cooler near the lake. Once that storm rolls through, tomorrow's high will struggle to reach 50 degrees. It's currently 69 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38. Well, President Trump and Iran's foreign ministers say the Strait of Hormuz is open again as long as the ceasefire lasts. But open does not mean normal. Let's welcome in from the nation's capital, it's CBS reporter Linda Kenyon. Linda, thanks for joining us.
Sure. Happy to be here.
Open does not mean normal. I guess I'll restate that. Is there any confidence that things will sort of remain, or is this a fragile ceasefire bound to change at any moment?
You know, the president has been very busy posting on social media today, at first saying that he welcomed the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, saying that the strait is ready for full passage. But minutes later, he sort of added a condition to that. So open may not necessarily mean open. His updated statement was the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ships and ports will remain in full force, adding, until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete. Now, he's referring to the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran, and that ceasefire can end next week if there isn't a deal, and then again, all bets are off regarding the Strait of Hormuz.
Has the U.S. been guaranteed, or any nation for that matter, with the strait opening, that it's going to be safe either? We had your colleague Chris DeGata earlier reporting on sweeps for mines which have been laid out in the strait, which may still be there, may not be, even as things open up.
Right, that's correct. In fact, Western leaders have been meeting in Paris today, and they've been discussing reopening of the strait and trying to make sure that it is safeguarded for passage, because there are mines that Iran has laid in that critical waterway. Now, the president also posted that the U.S. and Iran will be working together to remove those mines, but Iran has not confirmed that.
So it seems like Iran is not confirming much of what is coming out of the United States. The president claims that Iran has agreed to almost everything, including surrendering its uranium. Iran is on the other side saying, we haven't done any such thing. So where's this communication coming from the White House? Is it coming from Pakistani mediators, or is it maybe the administration trying to control or push the narrative?
Well, I will say that President Trump is, of course, a very different kind of president, and he does have a tendency to speak top of mind and to negotiate via social media. So a lot of his statements, which come across as very forceful, which he does very often in all caps, may just be part of his negotiating style. Now, Iran's prime minister released a note to his people and saying that negotiations are ongoing, but they have not agreed to some of the things that President Trump has said. For example, the president said the USA will get all nuclear dust, he said, created by our, quote, great B-2 bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. This deal is in no way subject to Lebanon either, but the USA will work separately with Lebanon to deal with Hezbollah, with the Hezbollah situation. By the way, he spelled Hezbollah as Hezbollah, and so on and so forth. So also Lebanon's leadership is saying we made a deal to save lives of the Lebanese people, but we're not capitulating in any way. We're doing what we need to do for our country. Didn't necessarily mention Hezbollah, or as the president posted, Hezbollah.
CBS's Linda Kenyon with us on Wisconsin's Midday News. Linda, you mentioned the president saying that Iran would be agreeing to give back that nuclear dust buried in those airstrikes last year. Can you kind of walk out what exactly that means in the larger context of negotiations?
Well, in June of 2025, the U.S. bombed several Iranian nuclear sites. And all of the rubble buried deep underneath the rock includes what the president refers to as nuclear dust. Now, that's actually the enriched uranium that Iran was using. It says it was not using it to create a nuclear weapon, but it needed it for nuclear energy. The president says Iran will never have a nuclear weapon and has agreed it will never have a nuclear weapon. And so all of that stuff is buried beneath the rubble. And the president said that first that the U.S. is going to get that nuclear dust. I tried to ask him this question, by the way, yesterday, and he didn't answer it directly. But it was, who is going to go in and get this nuclear dust, this enriched uranium? And he did not respond. But today on social media, he alluded to the fact that this enriched uranium will be gotten, if you will, through a joint venture of U.S. and Iranian folks. Now, that means that Americans will have to have boots on the ground in Iran. unless this is a fully commercial venture. But he's already said that there will be no money changing hands and there's no business deal involved in this.
Linda, is there any belief that an extension of the ceasefire could be in the cards?
That is always a possibility, but, I don't know that the president would be posting that yet because obviously he wants to ramp up the pressure to have Iran agree to a 100%, ceasefire, in other words, the end of the war. Now, keep in mind that ceasefire is due to end next week, and that means that there's going to have to be more negotiations. The president says that he is ready for another round of negotiations in Pakistan, and that as to who will lead those negotiations, the first round of in-person talks were led by Vice President J.D. Vance and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and presidential son-in-law Jared Kushner. Now he's saying he hasn't decided yet if Vance is going to lead that delegation, although he will probably be part of the talks, which the president also says will be in Pakistan through Pakistani mediators.
CBS's Linda Kenyon reporting from the nation's capital. Great insight, Linda. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Certainly.
1245 on WTMJ. Just getting word now, we are under a tornado watch. So all of southern Wisconsin, this is really Appleton, west to La Crosse, and everything south of there. All of southern Wisconsin in for a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. We do expect some warnings of some sort throughout the course of the evening. Try and get a better idea for timing coming up at about 1:37. Craig Copleen will join us in the 2 o'clock hour as things progress. But tornado watch for all of southern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Well, we've been spending a lot of time at the basement this week. Not that we've really wanted to be down there because of severe weather, but we've wanted to be down there because we got a nice, brand new, beautiful basement, thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. It's been a safe location for us to be. It's really stood up against the weather that's been happening outside, and it's a comfortable space for us for movie night and game night and hosting for the holidays, which we've done, birthday parties. Got a crew coming over in early May. We're looking forward to it. If it's raining outside, no problem. We'll be in the basement. Everybody will have plenty of room. It's Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. They did ours, and they did an incredible job. Connect with them and have them come out to your house for a free design consultation. This is a no-obligation meeting. They come to your house, you walk the space together, you start talking about ideas, and they start putting pen to paper. They spend some time in the house, and they, before they leave, give you a sense of what that finished project could look like. And then it goes to 3D renderings. Before you know it, you're picking stuff out. And you're doing it from your kitchen table because Matrix comes to you. You don't have to go anywhere. Matrix Basements only does basements. Why wait? Book now and no payments for you until 2028. If you're curious what a before and after looks like, check out my social media pages. Send me a note. Send a message. Reply in the comments section. I'll personally connect you with the friends at Matrix Basement Finishing. Wonderful people, on time, clean and courteous, and they only do basements. Check out their 5-star reviews from Google. It's matrixbasements.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest August 5th.
Flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin till Saturday morning. We have a tornado watch now in effect till 8 o'clock for all of southern Wisconsin. This is a pretty big swath of the state. I had said it was Appleton west to La Crosse, actually a little further north than that. It runs through Wausau, for goodness sake. So pretty much everybody in the state, if you're south of Wausau, in for a tornado watch. That's till 8 o'clock tonight. Showers and storms are likely. Overnight low of 42 after a high of 80. Rain comes to an end eventually on Saturday. Then the sun comes out for a couple of days. Mostly sunny on Saturday, a high of 50, but breezy. Sunny on Sunday, mostly cool, sunny and cool, and a high of 47. Back to 50 on Monday, 68 the high on Tuesday. It's 69 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:50.
It's a Friday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. That means it's time to look back at the week that was. Another busy one. Mac and Doc stepping down, the president feuding with the Pope. We had all the severe weather this week and the flooding. That and more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you, as always, by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Chris McIntosh, done. The Wisconsin athletic director leaving his job.
I have one name that I would look at if I was the Badgers, Mark Tauscher.
What we would need is Evan would need to become the chancellor for that to probably happen.
Pope Leo says he is not afraid of the Trump administration after criticism from President Trump over the weekend.
Do you think he is trying to poke the bear a little bit?
Yeah, don't mess with the Pope.
Doc Rivers to the Milwaukee Bucks makes a lot of sense.
Until it didn't.
Buckle up. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin, and we are aware. A lot of folks woken up in the night to the sound of those sirens. Tornado warnings popping all over southeast Wisconsin.
Brookfield Alderman Chris Seals now has resigned over some really horrific.
When people use this type of violent rhetoric, it's not just Muslims who can be targeted in acts of violence. It is people who can be confused for being Muslim.
Did you notice the date today? Are you celebrating? It is 414 Day.
Who out there wants to rock this thing and turn it into a New York New Year's Eve ball drop?
Dr. John Raymond, the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and he is with us this afternoon. Tell us about the new president.
His name's Dr. Shaker Kirkpad, and he's just an all-around amazing human being. He's someone that we should all be proud of, and he'll be starting July 1.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning. Ping pong ball size hail reported over Sussex.
I'm not telling you not to vote for him. Don't let this idea that the governor can freeze your utility rates be the reason, because it doesn't work like that.
Energy rates have gone up 50%. Like, this is the real problem.
You'd rather having us focus on the latter.
Trevor, ground ball left side, base hit.
But the fans booing him, kid that's been through all that he's been through, that's just not our best fans, that's for sure.
I just don't think you're helping anything. Like, what are you doing? Like, making yourself feel better by booing?
Trevor McGill he's somebody's kid.
Doc Rivers out as head coach. The search is on for his replacement.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, I'm committing to holding people accountable.
It rains a lot in the spring around here, but this seems excessive. Is this worse than usual?
I don't want to start comparing, the scenario we're in right now to last August's flood yet.
The next day.
Inches and inches of rain, flooding streets, shutting down the highway.
Pete Hegseth reportedly quoted a fake Bible verse.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
Yeah.
Waukesha police reports a man died by a lightning strike just outside the Quick Trip in Pewaukee.
I'm Judge Lindsay Burnett, and I'd be honored to serve you on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Already?
Bad news. The fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
I want to issue an apology. I think we've talked about weather at 6:10 every single day this week. But what's happening is what's happening, and that's what's happening.
What a week, eh?
What a week. A moment, Vince? A moment?
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Text WEEK to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. If you want to hear it again.
Well, we got a tornado watch in effect till 8 o'clock here for all of southern Wisconsin. One of, I presume, many watches or warnings that we'll have throughout the course of the afternoon and evening hours here. We'll try and get a better sense of timing on storms that could affect your evening commute or your evening in general, coming up at about 1:37. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ. Our podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You will find us. And a reminder, we are streaming on YouTube as well. That's right. Wisconsin's Midday News is on YouTube. We've got a wonderful page. You can check it out, watch the show, see what's happening in the studio, comment along with us. All you have to do is search for 620 WTMJ on YouTube, and you can subscribe.
No matter the month, no matter the time of year, is that fish fry at the famous Fox and Hounds. Experience 90 years of history at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Log Cabin Supper Club near Holy Hill. The fish fry there, one of the best, and all of the dinners, by the way, are get one free when you buy one. Honey glazed salmon, pan-fried walleye, steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, yummy, and buy one, get one free. After a long week, relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, kind of hugged by the Kettle Moraine Forest. Right off Highway 167 near beautiful Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is stunning, a must-see. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Dinner today at 4 p.m. Dine early. Tables are open. Google, call, and reserve your all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. The famous Fox and Hounds.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you could find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Right now, during our battery-powered tool sale, new Ego battery-powered push mowers are up to $100 off. 16 packs of Blaine's brand AA or AAA batteries, $7.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. And assorted S-Wing hammers are 20% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now, when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit Froedtert.com/ortho.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Person under arrest after a shooting at Milwaukee's intermodal station that's just on the edge of downtown.
Eric Billstad.
Milwaukee leaders will consider renaming Cesar Chavez Drive following allegations of sexual abuse against the civil rights icon.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Got some backups on southbound 43 from before Hampton all the way down to Locust.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 17th. Your top story is severe weather on the way.
I'm Adam Roberts. As flood cleanup continues, we offer solutions.
Tornado watch in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight. Partly cloudy throughout the day. Storms in the evening. High 79 degrees inland. Little cooler near the lake. It'll be windy as well. Shower storms likely tonight and a low of 42. 69 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 101. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, potential for flooding and tornadoes in the area tonight. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen says some of those storms may begin earlier than others.
The time frame for the highest potential for this rough weather, the torrential, potentially flooding rains and tornadoes, is between 5 and 11 o'clock this evening. I wouldn't completely rule out a rogue thunderstorm or two developing even before that.
Copleen says the storms could begin somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 o'clock for some areas in Wisconsin.
Flooding not unique to southeast Wisconsin and the rest of the state. It's plaguing several parts of the upper Midwest. ABC meteorologist Kenton Jawecki with more.
Southwest of Green Bay, New London and Shockton, they're both having the Wolf River at new record levels. It's now at 15 feet, never been there. And especially that town Shockton has likely a foot of water all across the town. So it is a very serious situation with this flooding. And guess what? They're going to get more heavy rain today, which they do not want because the ground is so saturated. There's nowhere for that water to go.
Back here in Milwaukee, the city's Metropolitan Sewerage District is preparing for more frequent severe floods in the future. Executive Director Kevin Schaefer says MMSD is on track to accelerate several storage basin projects in the woodworks. Telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
At Jackson Park, we're going to reshape that park, clean out the lagoon, but also add flood storage capability to the park itself. And then there's two other projects, one at Wilson Park, which will be a few years out because it's just in early phases, and then one down just off of I-43 on the south side.
Plans to build a basin at 35th and Capitol are also expected to begin by the end of this year.
The Kenosha Water Utility released diluted wastewater into the sewer system. The water eventually ends up in Lake Michigan. The city made the move Wednesday morning after nearly 3 inches of rain over 2 days overwhelmed the system. The utility says the release helped prevent water from backing up into homes. They've also notified the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources of the wastewater release.
President Trump says Iran is ending its nuclear ambitions. More from News Nation's Washington correspondent Vinay Simlot.
President Trump told our Kelly Meyer that Iran has agreed to, quote, everything, including an end to enriching uranium. That's the process needed to make a nuclear weapon. Iran announced this morning it completely reopened the Strait of Hormuz to commercial ships. Iran shut it down at the start of the war, which caused gas prices to skyrocket above $4 a gallon on average. About 20% of the world's oil passes through that waterway.
Recent diplomacy in the region includes a ceasefire between Israel and Iran and could lead to a peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran and ultimately lasting peace in the region.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The news out of Iran has stocks soaring today. The Dow is up nearly 1,000 points at 49,522. NASDAQ up about 350 points this afternoon at 24,452. And the S&P up about 80 at 7123. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The Brewers hoping the good times roll with them into Florida. Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
In 2027, the world's most iconic landscapes are yours to explore with Fox Group Vacations and Globus. Imagine the lush tropical beauty of Hawaii, the breathtaking peaks of the Swiss Alps by rail, or the rugged wonder of the Australian outback. With expert-led itineraries and a community of fellow travelers, we handle every detail so you can simply enjoy the view. Your next great adventure awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. General Manager John Horst is leading the search for the next head coach of the Bucks. Bucks President Josh Glessing believes uncertainty surrounding the future of Giannis will not cloud the process.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, these things change and they evolve year over year, and that is the nature of professional sports. But I'm committing to holding people accountable. I'm committing to driving the best result on court. And an ownership group that's committed to providing the resources to do that. And I think we've got that in place.
The Bucks will learn its draft position at the NBA's draft lottery on May 10th. And the Brewers, after defeating the Blue Jays in 2 of 3 games in Milwaukee, are in Miami today to take on the Marlins. Coverage gets underway at 5:35 on WTMJ. Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe expected to start for the Crew and make his major league debut.
Your WTMJ time saver traffic now, still slow in and around the stadium. You'll tap the brakes, especially as you head west from 27th Street now all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound from the stadium over to about 35th Street, so a little bit of a quicker tap on the brakes there. 4145, the slowdowns from Highway 100 up to Capitol Drive have lessened up a little bit. Now it's just going to be just a touch slow as you work your way north past North Avenue. And we do still have this closure on Capitol Drive. This is between Pilgrim and Brookfield Roads in the Brookfield area. We had a power line that fell down earlier this morning, and the work continues on getting things cleared out and safe to travel through there. So again, Capitol Drive in Waukesha County between Pilgrim Road and Brookfield Road remains closed.
Plenty of sunshine and temperatures approaching 80 degrees inland, little cooler near the lake, but things change in the late afternoon hours. Rain starts to roll in. Some of the storms that hit tonight could be severe. In fact, we're under a tornado watch all of southern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight. Could have some lingering sprinkles on Saturday with a high of just 50 degrees. Sunday's high just 48. Back to 50 and sun on Monday. So once you get past the lingering showers on Saturday, we should be dry for the next several days. 69 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 108.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
Much more on the weather coming up at about 1:35. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano, new to TMJ4, he's going to join us coming up, and Craig Copleen in the 2:30 hour. So we want to get you ready for any sort of update that we've got along the way. But the newest bit of information is a tornado watch for all of southern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things. on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number one, President Trump and Iran's foreign ministers say the Strait of Hormuz is open as long as the ceasefire lasts. President Trump also says the U.S. naval blockade against Iran will stay in effect until the deal is complete. ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy
knows that this blockade is working, and he wants to get that final push of the Iranians on the negotiation table to get things like completely turning over all of their highly enriched uranium, completely dismantling any potential for enriching uranium in Iran.
Yeah, the open word doesn't necessarily mean that everything is just normal or back to usual. The U.S. still blocking Iranian ports. Short-term good news, ships can move in and out again. Oil prices have declined. The stock market is soaring. The reality is it's a temporary pause, right? It's not actual peace right now in the Middle East. And there is some risk, of course, if the ceasefire breaks, the strait could become dangerous again and very quickly. The president and the administration say they're working with Iran to remove nuclear material from the country, though officials from Iran have not confirmed that assertion.
Number two, we now know the name of the man struck and killed by lightning in a Pewaukee parking lot earlier this week. He's 41-year-old Peter Garamoni from Pennsylvania, driving big truck, and was found unconscious in the Quick Trip lot near Gulf Drive and Grandview Boulevard this past Wednesday evening. Here's some scanner audio.
Our caller believes he was possibly struck by lightning,
indicating there that Garamoni had been calling 911 himself. He would ultimately later die at a hospital. His death is believed to be the first deadly lightning strike in the entire United States so far in 2026. Chris Vigaski is with the National Lightning Safety Council and says your odds of being struck by lightning during your life are 1 in a few thousand.
As we're getting into the spring and into the summer months, we need to keep in mind that lightning is a potential hazard.
It's also doubly sad for the family. Peter's father, Jim, posting on Facebook, sharing that his son had passed, and also noting just last week he himself had finished 3 rounds of chemotherapy and radiation for esophageal cancer, sharing this is a lesson for all of us to hug those we love a little bit tighter. A sad story all around.
Well, number 3, Ford is recalling over 1 million of its most popular vehicle.
Is now recalling about 1.4 million 2015 through 17 F-150 pickups after driver reports of very sudden deceleration. The issue has been traced to an electrical connection that can wear down over time. Ford has had 444 warranty claims, and this has been connected to 1 crash and 2 injuries.
ABC auto reporter Jeff Gilbert, abrupt reduction in speed, potential rear wheel slide, and increased crash risk. That's
Not
what
great.
you're dealing with, right, as part of this recall. Dealers will update the powertrain control module software for free. Now, the Ford F-Series, best-selling vehicle in the United States. I mean, this has been the case for like 40 years.
Absolutely. It's one of the, when I think of just car ads in general I see during sports games or otherwise on TV, almost always it's the Ford F-Series.
And among the most popular here in the state of Wisconsin as well. It's 1:12 on WTMJ. Officials in Dane County are preparing for the invasion of activists at Rigland Farms. We've got some comments from the Dane County Sheriff and one of the activists coming up after this.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer and allows my dogs, husband, and me to enjoy our patio every season. Comfort Awnings is now offering their biggest promo ever. Get up to $1,000 off any awning or screen. That's right, start spring off right and get 10% off up to $1,000 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Hey, if you're headed off to the game, whenever there's a game at American Family Field, make sure you take advantage of the incredible Potawatomi Sportsbook Shuttle. Pretty simple. Pop in, grab a bite to eat, maybe make a wager, get a wristband. You can board the shuttle, which boards right next to the annex, which is next to the sports book. Do that, and it'll take you right to American Family Field. It'll even bring you back. First come, first serve, limited basis based upon seating, and you'll want to take advantage of the great offerings at Potawatomi. Also, take a shot here this month during the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. It's April through June. You could win a share of $300,000 in prizes. All monthly promo entries count toward the grand finale drawings on June 26. Got to be a rewards member to play, so sign up. It's free. And enjoy all the great offerings at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 years or older to play.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Just got a note here from Craig Copleen, our WTMJ meteorologist. He's actually in kind of moving the timeline up a little bit to the highest threat now being between 3 and 9. Previously, it was between 5 and 11, the storms that are expected to roll in. He's adjusting that a little bit, 3 to 9 p.m., a couple hours earlier than originally suggested. Things are on the move in our direction here. Rain expected late tonight. Could be severe. Could bring about more warnings and watches. Right now, it's beautiful. 70 degrees and sunny in downtown Milwaukee, warmer inland. Once the rain rolls through, it'll linger into Saturday morning. Then kind of a cool day on Saturday with a high of about 50 degrees. 69 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 115. Well, the owners of Ridgeland Farms in Dane County and the Dane County Sheriff's Office are preparing for a large-scale animal rights demonstration. It's planned for Sunday at Ridgeland Farms in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. It's one of the largest breeders of beagles, specifically for biomedical research, and they've been around for 60 years. They have seen activists on their property before, most recently in the month of March. That was about 100 or so activists, Adam. Organizers for this round claim roughly 2,000 volunteers have signed up to assist in the removing of each and every beagle currently being housed at Ridgeland Farms.
So the thing I think about when you compare the two is crowd control. That is a lot of people who are going to be in one place at one time, and both the authorities and Ridgeland Farms have definitely been planning ahead.
Activist A.B. Bronner joined us on Midday earlier this week. He says the group is trained in nonviolent behavior.
We would love to resolve this without having to go there ourselves, if Ridgeland was willing to release the dogs themselves, or if law enforcement were to facilitate this happening. That said, I am sympathetic to Ridgeland's position in this, and that I do think from their perspective it is scary. And if they're listening, I want to reassure them. We are completely nonviolent. All we want to do is help the dogs.
Okay, but there is power in numbers, and those people will have to literally break into the facility if they want to leave with the dog. Ridgeland Farms is not going to open that facility to them. Calvin Barrett is the Dane County Sheriff. He addressed this idea.
We here at our sheriff's office, me as a family man, me as a sheriff, cares about the well-being of not just the people of our community, but of the animals as well. But we have to draw a decisive line between peacefully protesting and disagreeing and violently breaking into a facility, damaging property, and stealing private property. As the sheriff's office, our top priority is to keep and maintain the peace. And that is what we will do.
So I mentioned the last time this crew came through with a much smaller number, about 100 or so, which is still sizable, but nowhere near what they're expecting here this weekend. Similar activation in March brought about 100 activists to the farm, and just this week, 70 charges were filed against 63 individuals.
Approximately 50 to 60 individuals ran onto the Ridgeland Farms private property, broke into the facility, and stole dogs from the facility. Our Dane County Sheriff's Office conducted an investigation on that, and we referred charges to the Dane County District Attorney's Office on 70 charges, which includes 63 people. It is now up to the Dane County District Attorney's Office to determine whether or not they're going to charge those individuals with the crimes that we referred to them.
Ridgeland Farms beefing up its security in advance of Sunday's planned demonstration.
Our sheriff's office will be there on site to ensure that people can exercise their First Amendment rights. But when people start breaking in and breaking the law, we have to intervene to keep and maintain the peace.
Meanwhile, the activist group is trying to sell the idea of a peaceful demonstration.
We want to make sure that we don't harm anyone, whether they're humans, beagles, and this includes law enforcement, it includes ourselves, and most importantly, it includes the employees at the farms and the security. We're a nonviolent movement, and we want to be really clear that we're not going to harm anyone. And since we're bringing a bunch of people, we want to make sure that they are all trained in nonviolence as well.
But the only way they're getting in is by breaking in. And this is what happened last time. They used wire cutters. They used a sledgehammer. They broke in. 23 beagles were taken out. And they're trying to upscale the effort here with more people taking out more dogs. With beefed up security, the only way they're getting in is breaking in. And that's some of the charges that were brought against these activists when they came around in March. They're standing on the side of it saying, we can't legally do this, right? If you see a dog in a hot car, you can break that window of the car and take the dog out if you believe that dog is suffering. That is legal for you to do. They're equating that to breaking a window or using wire cutters or a sledgehammer to beat down the door to rescue these dogs they believe are being unfairly treated. So therein lies the rub. What will be allowed? What will not be allowed? You got a lot of people, a lot of dogs. I don't know if Ridgeland Farms people are going to be on site, but certainly they have beefed up their security, and it's not going to be easy to get in.
And of course, this is going to be a very highly emotional environment as well. And as we've seen in similar scenarios, when you get two emotional sides, things can unfold pretty quickly. So this is going to be very close to watch. It's also so interesting that this is all planned. This has all been laid out bare. This is not going to be a surprise operation in the middle of the night, which sometimes we hear about, that this has been planned for as long as it has and that they've been so open about this as well. And it's also interesting too, Greg, this story, not just a local one, as you know, but it's gained international attention. In fact, this story made its way all the way to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this week. So Representative Mark Pocan from Wisconsin, who covers this part of the state, the Dane County area, he was testifying to, or asking questions of Kennedy, rather, during a House Appropriations Committee hearing this week. RFK going through a lot of these meetings this week, and the topic of Ridgeland came up.
In my district, we have something called Ridgeland Farms. That's a beagle breeder for research. They've had 311 code violations, including very serious harm to the health of dogs. Grants are still, in the last month, going to groups that are getting beagles from Ridgeland Farms. Could you please take a look at this?
I believe you, but I have a hard time believing that. I need to look into this.
I will say that does seem to be a bit of an oxymoron, the I believe you, but I have a hard time believing that.
Well, yes, it does, but I also caught that.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what happens here over the weekend. And you talk about letting the world know. This is all intentional. I don't think people who are among this group of activists mind being arrested for the cause. I don't think they mind charges being thrown their way for the cause. I don't think they mind the idea and potential to be labeled a felon and have felony charges brought against them.
I agree.
For the cause. If you want a full, comprehensive breakdown of everything, Jessica has done an unbelievable job sourcing people to talk to, from activists to the attorney for Ridgeland Farms to those in this world of biomedical research, all over the place, right? We've got so many different sides to bring to the table, and Jessica has done that. Check out our website, WTMJ.com. Comprehensive breakdown, interviews that we've had here in Wisconsin's Midday News. It really, all sides and all bases covered leading up to this event. And yes, they want cameras to be there. They want people there. It's going to be all over social media. You're not going to get through the weekend without understanding that there was a disturbance at Ridgeland Farms this weekend.
It's 1:22 on WTMJ. Hey, coming up next, if you've got questions for your government or your school board, you can get answers, and we've got a tip for the tools you need to do it.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we're less than a month away from fishing season. We talked to Aaron Schiller from the Wisconsin DNR, and our storyteller in residence, Dusty Weiss, joins us all fishing, except for the bikes. They're coming. It's spring.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
125 on Wisconsin's Midday News. Want to let you know about a special episode of Reporter's Notebook, the show I host every Sunday at 10 here on WTMJ that we have coming up for you this week. We sometimes use the expression news you can use. It's one of the news cliches, I think, in our world, Greg. But this week, we do actually have just that. I want to help you, our WTMJ fans, build better records requests. So you hear the term open records request. It's something we use in news all the time. If we're trying to work on a story and there's some data or emails that we want access to that aren't just readily available, you can file so-called open records requests. And you will get a response from whether it's a city government, whether it's a school district or a school board. But you're not always going to get exactly what you were hoping to get. There's ways that entities can work around that, but there are ways that you can fight back and build better requests. So Krista Westerberg is my guest this week. She's an attorney in Madison and also VP of the Wisconsin Freedom of Information Council. She knows all the ins and outs about how to do this well. And especially because it's an election year and you've probably got a lot of questions about the people making big promises and you're wondering if they can keep them, a records request is a good tool you can use.
If they're campaigning on an issue such as healthcare, maybe you can make a records request to the State Department of Health Services to see how a particular office is currently running. If an official is saying, we're going to approve this function, why don't we see how it's working right now? And open records request could help you do that. And then once somebody is in office, you can always do request after that election to see how it's worked out.
Yeah, the records request is a great tool. I've used it on several stories I've done here at WTMJ. I think one of my guests, a reporter from the Journal Sentinel, referred to it like when you get that email, it's like opening a present on Christmas morning because you never know what's going to be in there. And those are a lot of the dazzling details and the juicy nuggets that can make a story that much better. And fun fact, Wisconsin, amongst the U.S. states, is one of the best in the nation when it comes to tools you can use to make your record request better. There's a lot of different ways and things that we can do here that we can't do in other states, but they're not always readily available to find out. So we're going to cover all of that. Krista Westerberg is my guest on Reporter's Notebook this week, Sunday, right here on WTMJ, starting at 10 a.m.
Good stuff, Adam. It's 1:27 on WTMJ, 1:30 News, right around the corner.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
I started our landscaping company, Brett Ochtenhagen's Seasonal Services, in 1994. We have other businesses, a trucking company, investment properties, and we board and raise quarter horses. I met Chris from Horicon Bank over 20 years ago, and we really hit it off. A few years back, we made our largest capital commitment ever. Chris understood our vision, supported it, and 5 years later, our annual equipment maintenance costs are down, and our fleet is amazing. Chris and Horicon Bank helped make that happen.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Buying a car, it's a really big deal. It's a big investment, and the process should be easy and stress-free. That's what you get at Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Milwaukee. If you've been thinking about a Jeep, this is the place to go, and they're beautiful vehicles. Griffin's Hub has an incredible lineup, including the Jeep Wrangler, America's legend, available in both 2-door and 4-door, all the colors, all the trim packages, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L, perfect for families who still want that rugged capability. That's such a fun vehicle. And check out the 2026 Jeep Compass. Your Compass definitely points to Griffin's Hub on South 27th Street. Believe me, they're going to take great care of you. They've got hundreds of vehicles in stock and something for every lifestyle. Stop in and see why so many people, myself included, keep going back to Griffin. The sales department, I completely trust. They're efficient. They're easy. They're going to take great care of you. Griffin's Hub in Milwaukee. Stop by the Hub today. Say hi to Jim Griffin.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 17th. Your top story, evacuating residents from Portage.
I'm Adam Roberts. She told investigators she drank Listerine the day of a crash. Now she's pleading not guilty.
Tornado watch in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight. Storms this evening. They could flare up this afternoon. High of 79.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Peace talks between the U.S. and Iran are expected in the coming days after the two countries announced this morning the Strait of Hormuz is open.
Before the war, a fifth of the world's oil traveled through the strait, and reopening it has been a key priority of this administration. But the question is, how long will this last and what real impact is it going to have? It's unclear if this will be enough for major shipping companies to be confident enough to go through the strait without more certain security guarantees. Also unclear how long this will last for. Iran said the strait would be open for the remaining period of the ceasefire. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire is set to expire in just 5 days. Selena Wang, ABC News, the White House.
A naval blockade on Iranian ports remains in effect. After singer David was taken into custody in Los Angeles last night, sources tell ABC the medical examiner determined Celeste Rivas' death to have been a homicide. Last year, police discovered the body of that teenage girl in the trunk of the singer's Tesla. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 131.
Folks in Portage in Columbia County are being told to evacuate because of flooding. The DNR says the Wisconsin River is still rising, putting pressure on the levee system and raising concerns it could fail. There is a special concern for the Caledonia levee just south of Highway 33 near Blackhawk Park. Crews are working to reinforce the levee with sandbags. The Wisconsin River is expected to crest this afternoon.
A woman charged with running over an 80-year-old pedestrian while driving drunk will stand trial. Marlon Espinoza of Wauwatosa entering a not guilty plea to 4 felony charges. She's accused of driving over a woman in a crosswalk at 68th and Wells with her child inside of the car. Espinoza told investigators she had drunk Listerine shots the day of the crash. She's due back in court next month.
Wisconsin unemployment is on the rise.
New data from the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development shows the rate rose to 3.4% in February. That's still a full point below the national rate of 4.4%. The state added about 1,500 jobs over the month, but total non-farm jobs dropped by more than 10,000. Wisconsin's labor force participation rate climbed to nearly 65%, staying well above the national average. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
An overwhelming show of support for Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky as he receives a 4-year reappointment. In an emotional Fire and Police Commission meeting, the board unanimously approving both that new contract along with a hefty pay increase. Commissioner Linnell Ramey.
I think it's important that Milwaukee learn to take care of its own, especially those who have shown and proved that they're here to serve this community. And you have been a staple of that, right? And I'm appreciative that you wear your heart on the outside of that shirt to show everybody how much you care.
The Chiefs' new contract comes with an annual salary of $245,000.
The Bob Uecker documentary, titled Uke, opens the Milwaukee Film Festival.
The documentary's film crew announcing Thursday.
All we know for sure right now is that we're going to do a release in Marcus Theaters later in the summer.
Producer Barry Polterman says the film's tone shifted throughout the years they were making it.
It became really important to us. It had been a fun film before that, a film that we thought like, oh, this is going to be really amusing and fun and what a great story and what a great life. But it became something serious then where we felt we had a real responsibility to not just Bob, but to his family and his friends.
Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The Brewers leave the birds behind. Now it's on to the fish. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
WTMJ's Julia Fello for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
In 2027, the world's most iconic landscapes are yours to explore with Fox Group Vacations and Globus. Imagine the lush tropical beauty of Hawaii, the breathtaking peaks of the Swiss Alps by rail, or the rugged wonder of the Australian outback. With expert-led itineraries and a community of fellow travelers, we handle every detail so you can simply enjoy the view. Your next great adventure awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
If your home suffered storm damage, don't despair. We are here to help.
Tanya's right. I'm Eric with Big Fish Contracting. We act as an advocate between you and your insurance company.
We thoroughly evaluate the damage, create an accurate quote, and handle all communication.
With decades of experience in roofing, siding, and windows, we're able to make your home whole again.
Integrity, humility, and kindness are our heartbeat, providing you with exceptional service.
Renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Check us out at bigfishcontracting.com today.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. General Manager John Horst is leading the search for the next head coach of the Bucks. President Josh Glessing believes uncertainty surrounding the future of Giannis will not cloud the process.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, these things change and they evolve year over year, and that is the nature of professional sports. But I'm committing to holding people accountable. I'm committing to driving the best result on court. And an ownership group that's committed to providing the resources to do that. And I think we've got that in place.
The Bucks will earn its draft position at the NBA's draft lottery on May 10th. Brewers are in Miami to take on the Marlins tonight. Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe expected to start for the Crew and make his major league debut. Coverage gets underway at 5:35 on WTMJ.
Let's take a look at the roads now. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. On the freeway system, we still have a slowdown on 94 as you'd expect heading west from 27th Street through Mitchell Boulevard, right through that construction zone, and then eastbound from the stadium to about 35th Street. 4145 northbound from about Watertown Plank Road up towards Burleigh. They'll be tapping the brakes there. Then we got some good news and some bad news off the freeway system. The good news is it does look like that Capitol Drive closure between Pilgrim and Brookfield Roads in Washington County looks like that is starting to open up now. So we had that down power line earlier blocking traffic, but it does look like that closure's been taken off of our boards here. The bad news is we've got a separate off-the-freeway crash that is blocking traffic on 27th Street. As you head over 894 southbound, we've got the two right lanes blocked. Looks like a crash right near Layton Avenue, right by a bus stop involving a few vehicles. So they've got those two right lanes blocked as you head south on 27th Street over the freeway out of Milwaukee.
Well, let's get a sense of the timing of tonight's round of storms. Hopefully the final round of storms here for at least the next several days. Once you get into Saturday, sun looks like it'll be back out, but temperatures will be on the cool side. A lot of this warmer air has been like jet fuel for the storms that have popped up here the last several days, including tonight. Let's welcome in Jacob Montesano, new to TMJ4, meteorologist. Welcome, Jason.
Yeah, it's really good to be here. It's been a very busy week for sure. My first time on air was supposed to be the shows today, but I got thrown into severe weather tornado coverage on Tuesday, and no complaining, just very hectic for sure.
Well, no doubt. You're absolutely right. It's a lot to talk about here and a lot to inform. Long hours, right? But you guys keep everybody safe. You and Lauren and Ms. and the team have done an incredible job here. It's been a fascinating coverage. And I suppose it'll be a long night again tonight here, Jacob. What are we looking at here for timing?
Definitely a busy night. Now, thankfully, it's not going to, the severe weather at least won't last well into the night, but we will continue to see some rain. Now, the timing of all of this will be in a few hours. I'm looking at the radar. The storms in Iowa are bubbling up very, very quickly. A lot of them are going from nothing to severe warned in as little as 30 minutes. So really goes to show you the type of energy and instability available for the thunderstorms to develop. Now, it looks like we'll start to see them enter our western area, but maybe around 3 to 5 p.m. and then move from west to east. And then once we get closer to around 6 to 8 p.m., it'll get closer to Waukesha, Milwaukee, and we will see all potential severe weather hazards. Obviously, flooding will be a big concern tonight with the amount of rainfall we've seen. And as far as the severe weather risk goes, the further west you're located, the greater the risk will be, especially when it comes to tornadoes. The southwestern portion of Wisconsin especially could be seeing a few strong tornadoes with this. Still could see some of those strong tornadoes for southeast Wisconsin, but it's just a little bit less likely. I'd still prepare the same either way. Now, once we get to around 8 to 9 p.m., that first line of severe storms will clear out of the region, but we're still going to see some lingering showers and isolated, mostly non-severe thunderstorms at that point. That will last until about 3 a.m., so some additional rain showers will continue throughout the night. Thankfully, the severe weather risk will mostly be between 4 and 8 p.m., but the flooding concerns will continue beyond that as the rain continues. All of this will clear out with the exception of maybe a very light shower by sunrise Saturday. But as you mentioned, it is going to get cool this weekend, but I'm sure many people will take the dry weather as a compromise.
I would agree with that. Storm Team 4's Jacob Montesano with us on WTMJ. Not to be lost, Jacob, in the threats this evening, we've got flooding, we've got the potential for tornadoes, but also the hail. I was checking the notice from the National Weather Service on this tornado watch that's in effect for all of us here in Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin until 8 tonight, and they mentioned the possibility of widespread hail up to softball size. We saw earlier this week some of those baseball-sized hailstones in the Madison area. What's our likelihood we could be in that area again tonight?
Well, we definitely will have some hail risk, although the hail risk doesn't look to be as significant as it was Tuesday. I'd say the tornado risk is about similar for our western areas. I'm not seeing anything too significant in the hail department for southeast Wisconsin. Still could see some of it, but the bigger concern will be the flooding, winds, and tornado. And the other thing with the winds is because the ground is so saturated, it will allow a higher chance for some trees to blow over because you have the dampened soil, and that would promote that. So that's another concern. If we see, even if we don't see a tornado and we see a thunderstorm with strong winds, that could be a concern as well. Still could see some hail, but again, I'm not seeing the hail. I don't think the hail is going to be as significant as it was Tuesday, but the tornado risk is just about the same, especially for western counties. The closer you get to the lake, the little slight drop off in the severe potential, but I would still have all of southeast Wisconsin prepare for that potential, and everyone will see the flooding concern for sure.
So, Jacob, is there a cold front behind this storm system? I noted the high for tomorrow is struggled to reach 50 degrees after today potentially reaching 80 inland.
Oh, absolutely. And as we look towards the weekend, there's like a brief shower chance, but maybe even some light snow for parts of like central Wisconsin. So that goes to show you the drop off in temperatures we're going to see with this cold front. But like I said, we'll take the cold air for some dry weather, and the dry weather will continue for the first half, at least the first half of next week. And those temperatures will warm back up, especially on Tuesday.
One of the other things I noted, Jacob, with the watch is just how far north it's extending. Like, I had assumed we would get a warning for southern Wisconsin, but the watch but this one goes all the way up to almost Highway 29. How far north do you think the tornado threat could get, and do some of our northern communities really have to be on alert as well?
I mean, yeah, I would say all of our communities, potentially up north to Wausau, although I don't think the tornado risk is going to drop off as you go further north. But it is really almost all of Wisconsin will see the severe weather risk. I'm looking at these storms. There's some storms firing up closer to Eau Claire right now that are producing some severe thunderstorm warnings. So it's going to be most of Wisconsin seeing this. We're pretty much all of Wisconsin's in the warm sector. You got to go all the way to northwestern Minnesota to be in the cold sector of this system. But we'll all be in that cold air by the weekend. But as you mentioned, all of the region will see this potential. Again, the further south and the further west you're located in Wisconsin, the higher the potential will be.
All right, Jacob, we'll be tuned in tonight. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It's nice hearing from you guys for the first time.
Yeah, our pleasure here. It's 1:44. So as Jacob mentioned, maybe a little earlier than initially thought for these storms popping up. And as he mentioned, the radar in Dubuque, Iowa right now, this thing came together very quickly. It looked like there was nothing on the radar, and all of a sudden, poof, some pretty significant storms popping into Dubuque, Iowa, which is right near the Wisconsin border. So starting to encroach on our state here. And maybe by the later part of the afternoon, your commute home could be a little bit wet with the severe threat kind of picking up as time goes on. So when it's gone, it is gone for several days, and that is a good thing. But cooler temperatures, you'll have some sunshine and maybe the ability to dry out a little bit. But temperatures definitely taking a hit along with it.
It's 1:45. We're coming up on it here on WTMJ. Hey, coming up next, remember that convention center hotel conversation in Milwaukee? Got a little bit of an update on that straight ahead.
MW Marine. Ready for the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out their showroom featuring the 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Lock in a great deal early so when summer hits, you're already launching, not waiting. Plus, full boat service and storage. They'll take top-notch care of your rig and get you on the water. MW Marine. Your summer starts here.
Hey, for 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, don't sweat it. Call my friends at Geist today. They've got an incredible team, incredible inventory, and brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go for you. They even have the ability to go custom. If that's what your project requires, no problem. Geist can handle it. Doors and openers for every budget at a beautiful custom design center. It's swift and reliable garage repair solutions with Geist. Visit GeistDoors.com. Stop by the showroom. Connect with the folks at Geist. In the business for 70 years, doing it the right way. That showroom in Brookfield, right off Barker Road. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit GeistDoors.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
From the post-game to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball for Dominic Cotroneo, our Brewers 360 guest every Monday at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So much of this team is the same from last year. So much of it that saw this firsthand, knowing, we're never out of a game. And the Brewers have the talent top to bottom, even on the IL right now, that are able to handle it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
1:48, Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam Roberts in for Jessica today alongside Greg Matzik. Mentioned before the break, we did have a little bit of an update on a story that made some headlines earlier this year and it's kind of been eking its way through 2026, kind of popping up here and there. It's relating to the Wisconsin Center District and their plans potentially to build a convention center hotel right in downtown Milwaukee. So this story really caught fire earlier this year. So this group out of Chicago called Hunden Partners conducted a best use study at the direction of this district, which owns not just the Miller High Life Theater, which was at the crux of the conversation, but also the Baird Center, our main convention center here in downtown Milwaukee, as well as the UWM Panther Arena across the street from the Baird Center, next door to the theater. Well, this study done by the Hunden Partners Group made those headlines when in the 130 some odd pages within showed a rendering containing a big old brand new 650 plus room hotel in place of the Miller High Life Theater. Now, the people who did the study made it plain when they presented this in January. Look, we don't mean to say that it must go here. They had other places they considered, but the assumption was when you put a rendering into a place, you at least had in mind that, hey, it could go here and here's what it would look like. So in response, a committee has been formed, love committees, and this Best Use Committee has been holding meetings throughout the first few months of the year. Well, they held their final meeting, Greg, yesterday, and will report their findings and their ultimate suggestion. Hey, what should we do? Should we build this hotel? Should we not? How would we pay for it? That will be coming up on May 15th. And I thought it was interesting. So this committee is made up of a handful of members, including you've got downtown Milwaukee Alderman Bob Bauman. You've got the CEO of Northwestern Mutual is on the board, and also Mayor of Wauwatosa, Dennis McBride. And he had some interesting comments I was able to pull from the meeting, mentioning he thinks Milwaukee, developmentally wise at least, when it comes to buildings, things like this hotel, other apartment complexes, is in a bit of a period of stagnation right now.
Milwaukee had great vision when it started, and we had great vision all the way through the 1960s. And our vision and leadership seems to have died off. And people have stopped dreaming big dreams about Milwaukee. We should think big about Milwaukee.
Now, I would say two things can be true here. You can agree that definitely it seems like these big, large-scale building projects we've seen over the last decade or so, think the Couture down by the lakefront, the new NM building next to the also new NM building in the same area, those aren't happening as frequently. We have the Edison development, that apartment which has been stalled out now after last year. But there are valid reasons that is happening as well. Construction costs are going up. And then there's the debate of, especially with this hotel, is the public going to have to pay for it? And I would argue the appetite is not there. If you were to ask the general public, hey, if we were to come and say, chip in and help build this $500 potentially $1 million building, given all the other laundry list of things we have to work on right now, that's probably not going to be something you get the thumbs up on.
I don't know that the public is overly interested in it, throwing tax dollars at the refurbishing buildings that are falling apart either, right? I mean, that's kind of the rub here. You've got some aging infrastructure with Panthers Arena and the High Life Theater. It's beautiful on the outside. That theater is gorgeous and still serves a purpose here in the city of Milwaukee. But you understand the intrigue here from the folks who run the convention center. They want direct access to the convention center in more ways than just one. Mm-hmm. And right now you do have one direct access. If you kind of take our Skyway system here from where we're located at the Avenue, you can get over to the Baird Center, right? You don't have to walk outside. You can get to the Baird Center. And that's about the only way you can get to the Baird Center using the Sky system. They want another one. They want more conventions at the Baird Center, which underwent a huge renovation and transformation. They're doing high school volleyball and volleyball tournament. They're doing everything. At the Baird Center, they want more access via hotel. So I get why they want it. And it does move Milwaukee into sort of a different playing field, I think, when it comes to conventions. I took a trip to Indianapolis a couple of years ago, and I'd never been there. And first of all, it's surprisingly bigger than you think. But there were 4 conventions going on at the same time, along with the NCAA tournament, and none of them overlapped, right? None of them. It was amazing to me how it all fit and it all worked, and it didn't seem like folks from one were overwhelming folks from another or just the general public. It was incredible to me. That, to me, would be a little more challenging in Milwaukee today. I think a hotel could help that a little bit. But I also understand where the Admirals and the Wave fit into all this. And Panthers Arena is their home.
Right.
If the arena goes, where do they go? Right? You
Not a
talk
lot of
about
options.
the lack of appetite for building new things and hotels. I don't think there's a new arena is going to be in the cards. So there's a lot of questions there as well. I really understand it from both sides.
Absolutely. So again, that coming up in May, we're expecting on the 15th, they'll do the whole presentation. They'll say one way or another, here's what we would recommend. And the board will ultimately have to make a decision on this. But you're going to be hearing more about it as we come up in the weeks to come, and we'll stay on top of it here on WTMJ.
I'm a sucker for a good rendering.
Yeah, you are.
These are good, right? And most renderings are.
That's kind of by design.
But a major cost, too, as you mentioned, the project estimated to cost between $400 and $500 million for this hotel. Pretty cool, pretty expensive. Could be exactly what Milwaukee needs, but there's a lot more questions than answers right now. 154 on WTMJ. Whenever or wherever you're listening, know that we are live on YouTube as well. Check us out, Wisconsin's Midday News. You can watch the show, see what's going on in the studio, see Adam's sweater here, comment along with us on any of the stories that we bring to the table. Search 620 WTMJ on YouTube, and you can subscribe today. Also, subscribe to our podcast, Built by Siding Unlimited.
Remember those old commercials that said, "Hey, you got chocolate in my peanut butter"?
Oh, yeah.
Replace chocolate with memory foam and peanut butter with Coil Springs, and you get
a weird tasting candy bar?
You get Penny Mustard's exclusive line of double-sided hybrid mattresses.
a flippable hybrid mattress with specialty foam and a supportive coil spring center.
And they're 100% chocolate and peanut butter free.
Revolutionary double-sided hybrid mattresses, only at Penny Mustard.
PennyMustard.com.
Well, the sun's going to be out this weekend. We're looking to dry off and get out of the house. The Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls, that could be the perfect place for us to gather with our family. Sundays are family days at the Hounds and Tap. It's our go-to place for doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming, but we like to hang out there as well because they got a beautiful indoor-outdoor tavern. Food trucks arriving frequently. They've got wonderful theme days. You can build a cornhole league. There's bingo. There's all sorts of great things happening at the Hounds and Tap. You want to get out of the house, enjoy some high-quality food, great people, and a fun environment, bring the dog to the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It's right off Silver Spring. Top-tier services for your dog. Maybe you just need a little bit of a nail trim or a full-on spa day. How about that? You can do it all at the Hounds and Tap. I love this place. I love what they stand for. I love how they give back. They're such wonderful people. Leah and her team at the Hounds and Tap, it's unlike anything for dogs here in southeastern Wisconsin, or the state for that matter. Check them out at visitthehoundsandtap.com. Connect with them, get all signed up and ready to go at the Hounds and Tap.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge, long run, leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Mortgages and equalizing lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Acconet's president and maestro of metaphor. What do you have for us today?
Dad, buying a home is a lot like having a baby. And it turns out that in today's extra competitive market, getting real estate pregnant with your offer accepted is the hardest part. So along with your agent, your AccuNet loan consultant will do everything possible to get your real estate bun in the oven.
Yep, we can definitely help buyers make their offers more competitive. Okay, so once you've made the real estate baby, so to speak, what else do buyers and their agents want?
As a son, now this is getting gross and I regret the metaphor. But the next thing everyone wants are regular checkups and an on-time delivery. That's where AccuNet really shines, with proactive weekly updates to reassure the sometimes nervous homeowners-to-be that everything's okay and on track.
It all starts with a rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval, and our home buying clinic is always open. Just click on the blue button at AccuNet.com to get started. That's ACCUNET.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Thursday, April 17th. Your top story, tracking possible tornadoes for southeastern Wisconsin.
I'm Adam Roberts. The president's top immigration enforcement agent resigns.
Tornado watch in effect for all of southern Wisconsin till 8 o'clock tonight. Showers likely tonight. Some could be severe. Mostly cloudy, low 42. Rain ends on Saturday morning. Then sun and a high of 50. It's 70 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, severe weather on the way to southeastern Wisconsin. Storms are likely to hit the western portions of our listening area about 3 o'clock. Big system developing in Dubuque, Iowa, making its way into Platteville. TMJ4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano tells Wisconsin's Midday News the risks for tornadoes tonight are present.
The further west you're located, the greater the risk will be, especially when it comes to tornadoes. The southwestern portion of Wisconsin especially could be seeing a few strong tornadoes with this. Still could see some of those strong tornadoes for southeast Wisconsin, but it's just a little bit less likely. I'd still prepare the same either way.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up.
As southeast Wisconsin braces for more severe weather and the rain that comes with it, Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District is looking towards long-term solutions to flood management.
MMSD Executive Director Kevin Schaefer tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're hoping to accelerate 4 storage basin projects already in the works, including one at Jackson Park.
We're going to reshape that park, clean out the lagoon, but also add flood storage capability to the park itself.
And once those projects are complete,
you're looking at probably 220 million gallons of additional flood storage built into these waterways.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Kenosha Water Utility released diluted wastewater into the sewer system, which will eventually end up in Lake Michigan. The city made the move Wednesday morning after nearly 3 inches of rain fell over 2 days and it overwhelmed the system. The utility says the release helped prevent water from backing up into homes.
President Trump's top immigration and customs enforcement official Todd Lyons is resigning as acting director, citing a desire to spend more time with his family. News Nation's Ali Bradley has reactions from ICE agents.
Officers that I talked to, they say that they're disappointed in the move, but they're not necessarily shocked. So these are from sources here saying, quote, wow, this is not welcome news, but I understand what the pressure he was facing, that he would want to make a move. Lastly, I am surprised he hasn't left already. We were told he was leaving in the fall because of threats against his family and stress. Now, it's unclear who is going to be tapped to replace Todd Lyons when he leaves at the end of May.
Lyons' resignation comes after Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullen took over from Kristi Noem to run the agency last month.
President Trump sounding optimistic about a deal to end the war in Iran.
In an interview with CBS News, President Trump said Iran has agreed to stop enriching uranium forever, saying they have agreed to everything, and it's a great deal, it's a wonderful deal. When it comes to removing Iran's enriched uranium, which the president refers to as nuclear dust, Trump said the U.S. and Iran would work together. At the same time, though, he insisted removal would not involve U.S. troops on the ground. He said, quote, no troops. We'll go down and get it with them, and then we'll take it. We'll be getting it together because by that time we'll have an agreement. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
News about your money now, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Amid news that the Strait of Hormuz will be completely opened, that according to Iran, stocks responding in kind with big gains today. A little bit of a downtick from where we started the afternoon, but still in the green for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. All up more than 1%. The Dow so far up 870 points on the day at 49,449. The NASDAQ up to 24,426, and the S&P 500 up over 7,100 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. More details at annexwealth.com.
The Brewers hit South Beach. Sports, weather, and traffic next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Milwaukee enters the day with a record of 10-8. President of Baseball Operations, Matt Arnold.
We have some guys coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but we're hopefully able to get through this, and honestly, I think we'll be better because of it, because I do think it really allows some young guys to get some opportunities here and show what they can do.
Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crow expected to start for the Brewers tonight and make his major league debut. Coverage gets underway at 5:35. And the NFL Draft begins Thursday of next week. The Packers currently armed with 8 total selections.
You lose like a Parsons, a great player. You can't have that. I look at these teams, if on paper, they're as good as anybody on paper, but they got to have their guys out there, and they got to be healthy.
ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper. Packers do not own a first-round pick due to the trade last season for Micah Parsons.
Your WTMJ time saver traffic looking a little bit slow right now on 43 as you head south from about, looks like and around Walnut Street as you go down towards the Marquette through the high-rise bridge. You'll be on the brakes, especially around the Marquette. East and west on 94 around American Family Field, going to be slow going between Mitchell Boulevard and about 27th Street. 4145 heading north from Highway 100 up to Burleigh. You'll be tapping the brakes there. And looks like we do have, we're cleaned up now on this crash that was blocking some lanes as you exit 894 heading onto 27th Street going south. That crash looks like it has been cleared up. You may still encounter a little bit of a delay as you work your way over the freeway.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford needs line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Contact the Mineshaft today and start next week.
Tornado watch is in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin till 8 o'clock tonight. Pretty big storm system that is building in Dubuque County and encroaching here on the state of Wisconsin. So our southwestern counties here in the state, those warnings are starting to pop, and it's only moving our direction. So would expect some warnings or watches to be inclusive of southeastern Wisconsin here before it's all said and done. Shower storms are likely. Some could be severe. Cloudy tonight, low 42 after a very pleasant high in the mid-70s. Rain eventually ends on Saturday, then mostly sunny and a high of 50 degrees. Breezy as well. Sunday, mostly sunny and cool, high 47. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 50. Partly cloudy on Tuesday with a high of 68. So once the rain clears on Saturday, should be in a dry stretch through at least Tuesday of next week. It's 69 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
Oh, the weekend is almost upon us here. Greg and Adam with you on Wisconsin's Midday News. Jessica enjoying a bit of a long weekend. She'll be back on Monday. Gina's in for Gina, and we'll take you till 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, number one, President Trump and Iran's foreign minister say the Strait of Hormuz is open again as long as the ceasefire lasts. President Trump also says the U.S. naval blockade against Iran will stay in effect until a deal is complete. ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy.
The president knows that this blockade is working, and he wants to get that final push of the Iranians on the negotiation table to get things like completely turning over all of their highly enriched uranium, completely dismantling any potential for enriching uranium in Iran.
Open does not mean normal, however. That probably goes without saying. The U.S. is still blocking Iranian ports. Short term, it's good news. Ships can move again. Oil prices are on the decline. The stock market's soaring today. Now, the reality is it's a temporary pause, and the ceasefire does have an expiration, so no firm level of peace just yet. Big risk if the ceasefire does break, the strait could become quite dangerous and quickly.
Absolutely. We talked with Linda Kenyon earlier about the mines that Iran had placed previously in the strait. So even if you have it open, ships got to go through there, and who knows what's lurking under the water as well. Well, number two, we've had a lot of severe weather talk. It's been kind of a glum week in southeast Wisconsin, but I wanted to share a really cool new development that's being planned for a major Wisconsin healthcare facility right here in our area.
We are announcing the 16th studio, Children's Wisconsin in Milwaukee.
You recognize that voice at all? That is Ryan Seacrest, longtime former host of American Idol, currently Wheel of Fortune frontman, also hosts his radio show there where we got the audio on air with Ryan Seacrest. Made that announcement earlier this week. So Seacrest, as part of his foundation, builds studios where children in healthcare facilities there long-term can have access to things like podcast producing space, interviewing guests and acting out real-life radio shows, giving a distraction from some of the unfortunate realities of being in a hospital long-term.
Wanted to do something for kids in hospitals, wanted to create an atmosphere where they could escape where they could forget what's going on, where their parents could see them smile and engage and connect with other patients in the hospital.
So the Milwaukee location, which is expected to be open by the summer of 2028, would be Seacrest's 16th that he's built in hospitals all across the United States. It's really cool stuff in a lot of these spaces. Reminds me a lot of some of the additions at the Milwaukee Public Library's MLK branch recently, where they added what's called a maker space. You have recording space, a green screen, 3D printers and things like that to work with. Very similar here, and a really cool thing for children in an unfortunate situation.
And the first one in Wisconsin, is that right?
The first one, yep.
Oh, that's very cool stuff. It is 12 at 12 on WTMJ.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
When little things become big things, Siding Unlimited and their subsidiary Outdoor Living Unlimited understand this. Here's what I'm talking about. So after the first round of rain earlier this week, I went outside to assess if anything had blown around or maybe even blown off the house. I went to our patio. Thankfully, we don't have a drop of water in our basement, and that is great news. I went to our patio installed by Outdoor Living Unlimited. I noticed that the paver blocks that were right up against the house were pitched ever so slightly, so any water hitting runs toward the patio and doesn't pool up against the house. When little things become big things. That's what I'm talking about here with Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. Their installation teams get it. They understand how weather works here. They understand how the wrong installation could mean a whole host of problems for you. You go with the experts. You go with those who know what they're doing in the space. It's Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. Think about any way to beautify and protect your home from the weather and the conditions. Siding Unlimited can do it. Siding, roofing, windows, doors, patio projects like mine. They've done a number of projects for us over the years, and their installation teams consistently knock it out of the park. Wonderful people. They run a wonderful business, and they are the best. It's Siding Unlimited. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ. You got to check this out. I've been kind of wondering, how can I celebrate America's 250th birthday and do it in a Wisconsin way? Are there cool things we're doing in our state? Well, we have locked it down. The Wisconsin Historical Society in Old World, Wisconsin have something really cool. We will chat about it on this week's Experience Wisconsin, and in the Celebrity Spotlight, my friend Susan Kim from TMJ4. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
A pretty good deal of sunshine for the day until the rain starts moving in. So you're going to start to see clouds build up here over the next hour or so if they've not already hit your area. And behind that, a pretty stiff line of storms. In fact, it's developing and it's seemingly gaining some steam and potency into the southwestern portion of the state. But this is a pretty big system, and it's bringing a tornado watch to all of southern Wisconsin, really from Wausau south. That's it. You're in a tornado watch until 8 o'clock. So the bulk of the state is going to be affected at some level here with this round of storms. The potential for severe weather is in play tonight, damaging straight-line winds and hail. Craig Copleen is going to join us coming up in about 20 minutes for the latest on the timing. They did move this up a little bit. They thought initially it might be like a 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock kind of window. They've increased or moved up the time from about 3 to 9 this afternoon and evening. It's 70 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 216. Craig Matzik and Adam Roberts with you. It is Wisconsin's Midday News until 3 o'clock. Well, you know, the sirens are working in your area. They have been on repeat here. The alarms going off here throughout the week. When a tornado warning comes across your phone, a lot has already happened behind the scenes. Meteorologists reading radar, storm chaser confirming what's on the ground. You've got trained spotters calling in damage from a road that nobody else is on. Well, today we break down who is doing what and why all that matters.
Thunder, a rotating wall cloud, a greenish, eerie stillness, and then the sirens. And somewhere out on a 2-lane road is someone driving towards the storm on purpose. Severe weather season is here, and the people tracking these storms from the ground are more organized and more important than you might think. TMJ4's Brian Niznansky says, despite what you might think, chasers and spotters are more alike than they are different.
Both a storm chaser and a storm spotter are eyes on the storm that meteorologists like myself that could be sitting in a studio, or National Weather Service meteorologists that are in their office. They're actual eyes on a storm that can give confirmation of something actually happening.
But there is a distinction. Storm spotters go through official training with the National Weather Service, and Niznansky says that label means something specific.
The biggest differentiator is a storm spotter is going to go through a storm spotter training that is through the National Weather Service. That storm spotter label is specific to that.
Storm chasers, on the other hand, tend to range farther. Scott Weberpaul is an independent storm chaser out of Wisconsin, and he's been doing this for more than 2 decades.
Spotters are generally folks who will stay within a specific radius of home, say 10, 20 miles, and will simply report, to the National Weather Service, local TV stations, etc., what the weather is at their specific location.
So why do we still need human eyes out there? Niznansky says radar has its limits.
It makes it a lot easier to confirm a tornado if you have definite eyes on it. But if no one saw it and you just have a bunch of tree damage, sometimes it can be difficult to say this was a tornado or it wasn't.
That ground truth, as chasers call it, can mean the difference between a vague radar alert and a confirmed urgent warning. Obviously, chasing isn't without its hazards, and Weberpaul knows that personally. On August 18th, 2005, the day an EF3 tornado hit Stoughton, he found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was driving south on Highway 12, trying to get out of the rain and hail and precip part of the storm, and I inadvertently drove almost right into the tornado itself. Probably got into some 90 to 100 mile an hour winds on the northern periphery of the tornado. I'm 45 years old. I've got 3 kids. I've got a wife, and those are all things I have to keep in my mind and tell myself that, this is kind of my limit right here.
Niznansky says sometimes the most valuable call is the all clear.
And you know what? If that tornado isn't touching down, that's just as valuable too. Because one of the last things we like to do is give the same weight to a tornado warning when you have a scenario where there might be a tornado, we're kind of seeing something on radar, but we have confirmation that nothing is touching down, versus, oh my goodness, there is a tornado on the ground and it's heading for Fort Atkinson.
Storm spotter training sessions are happening across southeast Wisconsin over the next several weeks. Anyone can participate. For dates and locations near you, check with the National Weather Service, and we've got you covered with the link on WTMJ.com. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
It's really fascinating stuff. The amount of technology that goes into what you just see on a forecast for the meteorologists, that what they use. But there's a lot that goes into the information that's being disseminated and then ultimately shared.
Yes, so I've actually done some of the storm spotter training sessions Debbie mentioned there, both as a reporter just doing a story on it and then also being a participant as well. And it's really fascinating learning the ins and outs of how to do it safely too, because I don't know about you, but my timeline on my social media feed, especially X this week, has been littered with storm chasers, which is obviously different, who have their big rigged, tricked out cars with all the sheet metal wrapped around it to drive maybe quite literally into storms. Obviously, if you're spotting, that is not how you handle that.
Very interesting stuff. A really good piece there, pieced together by Debbie. And if you were ever wondering if the sirens in your area worked, well, you likely know this week if they are or aren't, or how close they are to wherever you live. Could hear them again tonight. Certainly hopeful that we don't have to worry about it, but it's in the forecast again. 2:21 here on WTMJ.
No matter the month, no matter the time of year, a Wisconsin fish fry is a great tradition. WTMJ's John Merck here. Another great tradition is that fish fry at the famous Fox and Hounds. Experience 90 years of history at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Log Cabin Supper Club near Holy Hill. The fish fry there, one of the best, and all of the dinners, by the way, are get one free when you buy one. Honey glazed salmon, pan-fried walleye, steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, any entree, buy one, get one free, desserts and ice cream drinks. Yummy, and buy one, get one free. After a long week, relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds kind of hugged by the Kettle Moraine Forest. Right off Highway 167 near beautiful Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is stunning, a must-see. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Dinner today at 4 p.m. Dine early. Tables are open. Google call and reserve your all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. The famous Fox and Hounds.
Hey, sounds good, John. See you there. Founded by inventors, fueled by community, focused on business. What a great story, the story of Horicon Bank. Greg Matzik here. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Horicon Bank first opened its doors in 1896, and 130 years later, they are still there for you in the communities that they have branches, and some new communities as well. New branches in New Berlin, Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, Grafton, and West Bend. This bank, Horicon Bank, is expanding, yes, but they've not lost that community-minded approach to helping you and your business. With financing requests that can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker at Horicon understands you. They understand how business works. Check them out at any one of their branches. Check them out online. Visit Horicon Bank. Together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
The only place to get this.
And we are through here with this one at Fiserv Forum. It has been bludgeonings against the Bucks, and tonight was no different.
With some of this.
The Bucks are dead last in terms of discrepancy in their true shots versus opponents. Dead last. 30th in the league. It's about 5 more per game the opponent is taking than you are.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
2:23 on WTMJ. A little update on the weather with Craig Copleen coming up at 2:35. Time now to recognize another everyday hero.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's morning news celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Detroit, Michigan, where cashier Abdulrahman Abu Haytham was working his standard shift at the gas station. In comes a guy along with a teenage girl. They walk up to the cash register and ask for a pack of cigarettes. What happened next was strange to Abdulrahman. He says the guy asked the girl to pay for the smokes.
When he asked her to pay for the cigarette, I said, stop, there's something wrong.
Speaking with ABC 7 WXYZ there, Abdulrahman thinks to himself, something isn't right about this. Now, he's behind glass. This is one of those gas stations with the protective barrier, the glass there between the cashier and the customers for safety purposes. He's already thinking something strange. Then he makes eye contact with the teenager.
She talked to me like with no sound, help.
She mouths the word help. So what would you do in this situation? Maybe you call 911 discreetly, and maybe you try to get a good look at the guy, or maybe you try to catch the license plate of the car they were in when they came in. Well, Abdulrahman decides to leave his protective post. He immediately walks up and gets in between this guy and that girl.
I go out, I kick him out, ask the girl to go behind me.
We do have the surveillance video in the story. Just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. It turns out this girl is a 16-year-old student at Frontier International Academy. 30 minutes earlier, she'd been waiting for the school bus when this guy shows up with a gun and took her.
This is a random incident. That person, a suspect, could have driven anywhere and saw the opportunity and took advantage of it.
It's a police chief there. Officers were already searching everywhere for this girl. They were trying to locate pings on her phone. They were on the case, so they were getting close when Abdulrahman walked him out of the gas station. That was right when officers were pulling up.
I see the police outside. I point to him. That's the guy.
That guy is now in custody. And it turns out he is not a good dude. He has a bunch of priors, including charges of rape. Now, thankfully arrested, and thankfully the girl is safe. Thank you to Abdulrahman Abu Haytham. You, sir, are an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Oh, it was a great story as chronicled by WTMJ's Eric Bilstad. Check it out on our podcast page if you missed it. That and everything else we've done today and throughout the week. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. Take us with you wherever you go. And a reminder, we are on YouTube, wherever or whenever you're listening. No, we're on YouTube each and every day. Watch the show, see what's going on in the studio. Comment along with us. It's Wisconsin's Midday News.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Concerns that we'll see big flooding on the streets of Milwaukee once again.
Eric Bilstad.
We're following some breaking news from overseas. The U.S. says the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, completely open.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Looks like it's closed in both directions, Capitol Drive is, between Calhoun and Pilgrim Road.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation, 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Coming up on 2:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, April 17th. Your top story, rescued from a muddy cliff in Cudahy.
I'm Adam Roberts, and we're tracking more severe weather on the way this evening.
And with that, a tornado watch in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight. In fact, for all of southern Wisconsin, from Wausau south to the state line, you are in a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. Storms could be severe tonight. That's expected, a low of 42. It's currently 70 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. The ceasefire in Lebanon is in question right now after the Lebanese Ministry of Health reported one person was killed in an Israeli airstrike this afternoon. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Beirut and says it comes as many residents there had been trying to get back to their homes.
They are returning home not knowing if their homes are still standing because the number of villages were completely destroyed. And so they are really going into the unknown and hoping that this current 10-day ceasefire will hold.
Meanwhile, the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran appears to be holding. This morning, President Trump and Iran's foreign minister announced they're reopening the Strait of Hormuz, which has had a positive impact on oil prices already. After authorities discovered the body of missing teen Celeste Rivas in the trunk of a Tesla last year, now they've taken the owner of that SUV, singer David, into custody. Sources say the L.A. Medical Examiner found the death to be a homicide. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 2:31.
A large emergency response in Cudahy ends with a successful rescue.
Dispatch 1 on command. Upgrade this to a technical rescue card.
Message received. Did you still want the Coast Guard?
Yeah, it's affirmative if we can get them.
That was scanner audio from Broadcastify. The Cudahy Fire Department was called to Warren Mount Park just after 3 a.m. to rescue a man who had sunk up to his knees in mud along the lakefront. Rescuers used a technical rope operation to reach him, sending a crew member down to check on his condition and stabilize him. The man was then transported by boat with help from multiple agencies, including the United States Coast Guard. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The department is warning people to avoid muddy lakefront areas.
In Columbia County, people in the city of Portage being told to evacuate due to ongoing flooding concerns. The Department of Natural Resources says the Wisconsin River is still rising, putting pressure on levee systems. There are concerns some of the levees could fail, particularly the Caledonia levee near Blackhawk Park south of Highway 33. Sandbags are being brought in to reinforce the levee. The river is expected to crest later this afternoon.
More rain, strong winds in the forecast tonight for southeastern Wisconsin. TMJ4 meteorologist Jacob Matasano telling us here on midday he's not worried about the risks for hail.
The bigger concern will be the flooding, winds, and tornado. And the other thing with the winds is because the ground is so saturated, it will allow a higher chance for some trees to blow over because, you have the dampened soil, and that would promote that. So that's another concern.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen joins us coming up in just a few minutes.
Decision Wisconsin. Less than 2 weeks after Judge Chris Taylor won a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, campaigning has already started for the next race in 2027. Clark County Circuit Judge Lindsey Burnett running as a candidate backed by liberals for a seat on the bench. The winner of next year's election will replace retiring conservative Justice Annette Ziegler.
Unanimously reappointing Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky.
Lipsky received endless praise from the Fire and Police Commission.
You've got sort of, I'm going to cut through red tape with a machete kind of vibes, right? Like you're just like, I'm not going to take no for an answer when it's something that the people need.
It's like we love you, not just because you're a good fire chief, not because you're a great fire chief, because you're a great person.
The chief gets another 4-year term with an annual salary of $245,000.
This is my life's calling, and my life's calling isn't just to be a firefighter, it is to be a Milwaukee firefighter.
Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
Off to the Sunshine State for the Brewers, hoping to continue the winning ways. Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 2:34.
An epic Brewers Pirates series is coming April 24th through the 26th. Kick it off with Star Wars Night on Friday the 24th. And check out a post-game laser show presented by ESPN Milwaukee. Then on Saturday the 25th, get a Brewers Windbreaker giveaway courtesy of Quartz. Wrap up the series with Family Sunday fun and kids cheer free. Plus, the first 5,000 kids take home an Abner Uribe poster. Grab a seat at Brewers.com.
Vince Vetrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. You should see what our new floors look like. And you can. But let's talk about you first. Whether you want to tighten things up before selling your house or you want to be more comfortable in your forever home, start at Hunt's Flooring. Our new hardwood floors are in. We could not be happier that we chose local, family-owned Hunt's Flooring. Text FLOOR to 855-616-1620 and I'll send you the before and after pics. Hunt's is ready for your project right now. Tell them Vinny sent you. Highway 100 in Greenfield, huntsflooring.com.
Acunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Acunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Acunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers are in Miami after taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee. Milwaukee enters the day with a record of 10-8. President of Baseball Operations, Matt Arnold.
We have some guys coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but
we're hopefully able to get through this, and honestly, I think we'll be better because of it, because I do think it really allows some young guys to get some opportunities here and show what they can do.
Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crow expected to start for the Brewers tonight and make his major league debut. Coverage gets underway at 5:35 on WTMJ. And the NFL Draft begins Thursday of next week. The Packers currently armed with 8 total selections.
You lose like a Parsons, a great player. You can't have that. I look at these teams, if on paper, they're as good as anybody on paper, but they got to have their guys out there, and they got to be healthy.
That's ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper. The Packers do not own a first-round selection due to the trade for Micah Parsons.
Well, let's check those roads now. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. Starting to see some of our afternoon drive volume build up beginning to happen, especially in and around Milwaukee. 43 south from Capitol Drive through the Marquette is going to be slow, not just because of volume, but also because the left lane on the high-rise bridge just past the Marquette is blocked due to a broken-down vehicle. It's actually on the northbound side, but we are seeing people slow down to take a look at what's going on there coming the other direction as well. 94 east and west, 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard is going to be slow through the construction zone. Also seeing volume starting to build up on 4145 heading south from about the Milwaukee-Waukesha County line down towards Mill Road. And then also on 894 heading out of the Mitchell going westbound to about 60th Street.
All right, let's bring in WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen with the latest on the weather and the timing. Craig, thanks for joining us here. We noted about an hour ago or so, things started to pop up here around Dubuque, Iowa, and it's now encroaching here and in the state of Wisconsin. Has that affected timing in any way, the when these storms popped up and how quickly they're moving?
It looks to me that the storms are going to come earlier than I was alluding to this morning. This morning, I was thinking like an after dinner, 7, 8, 9 o'clock thing. That time frame has shifted up a little bit. Right now, I expect the storms that have popped up and are running from around, let's say, Baraboo over to Richland Center, down to Dodgeville and Darlington, all west of Madison. I think those storms start to get into our western counties. Jefferson, Dodge, maybe even western Fond du Lac County, maybe starting about 4, 5 o'clock, so maybe just an hour and a half from now. And then they'll steadily move into the rest of southeast Wisconsin, eventually affecting Waukesha, Milwaukee, and other communities closer to the lakeshore between about 6 and 8. The storms that I referenced that are west of Madison right now in Wisconsin are not severe, but the storm just south, or a storm just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois border, you mentioned it, Greg, it developed near Dubuque. That has shown indications of it being capable of producing a tornado, and a tornado warning is in effect for far northwestern Illinois right now. And I believe that's probably just going to be the first of what will be several tornado warnings issued through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening.
Yeah, so I'm curious, Craig, as I'm looking at the radar right now where that storm is over northwest Illinois, southwest Wisconsin, behind it towards the Waterloo, Iowa area, and then all the way up north towards Rochester, Minnesota, there's a second line right now moving as well, and that line has a lot of tornado warnings. I think I count about a half dozen or so, anywhere from about west of Cedar Rapids up towards Rochester, Minnesota. Could you see this being a scenario tonight where it's not just one bulk rush of severe weather, but it could be waves?
I think you're right on it, Adam. I think that's what's going to happen. This storm just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois border right now, that and maybe another storm or two are sort of the initial wave that comes through the WTMJ listening area. And then more storms will be behind that. And those storms will come through sort of in a second wave. Maybe there won't be that much of a break in between them eventually. But I think you're right. This is sort of going to be a two-phase thing as we go through the next several hours.
So, Craig, it's really interesting. So Dubuque, Iowa and Waterloo, Iowa are separated very similarly to that of Madison and Milwaukee, right? About 90 miles in between. And what shows right now is Dubuque is getting hit pretty hard. Waterloo's getting hit pretty hard. In between, there's really nothing. Do these storms move at different rates of speed? Is one, 40 miles an hour, the other one 30? Or could they converge into one another and become just one kind of massive block of storms?
As they get closer to Milwaukee, I think that's what's going to start happening to some extent. There will be sort of a conglomeration of all the storms, although I think we've got enough of a separation between what's going on in Wisconsin now and what's back in Iowa that they probably won't converge completely. What we've got is the storm. We've sort of got two boundaries, two separate fronts, for lack of a better word. You hear us talk about cold fronts moving all the time, right, and triggering thunderstorms. We've sort of got two. The main one is the one back in Iowa, producing those storms and those tornadoes right now. But there's a weaker front out ahead of that. And that's what's triggered these initial storms in Wisconsin down to Dubuque. So as each one of those fronts comes through, we're going to see thunderstorms delineated along each front as they come through in two waves.
And then the other, of course, major element we're watching with this, Craig, as has been the case all week, has been the rain. We already in Milwaukee have had that 8 inches for the first half of the month of April. We saw what just the amount of rain we got the other night can do to our system. In terms of rain totals between these two lines, depends if they coalesce later on in the evening. What are we looking at as far as total? I mean, any amount of rain is going to be too much for us, but what are we looking at?
Yeah, on the high end, and I do think some places will be on the high end, the places where the heaviest storms, the ones that are producing the most torrential rains, there are going to be a few places in southeast Wisconsin that end up picking up 2 inches plus of additional rainfall this evening, and that's going to make things go badly and in a hurry for the reasons you say. All the water's still running high, and it's not completely drained out of all the systems yet from the rain earlier this week. As a more general rainfall, I think everybody gets at least probably 3/4 of an inch, maybe 1 inch or so, which isn't good either, given what we've already had this week. So on the low end, probably expect maybe 3/4 of an inch everywhere. On the high end, around 2 inches for the folks that are, let's say, the most unluckiest in this heavy rain scenario tonight.
Well, we appreciate it, Craig. We know it's going to be a busy night. Thanks for everything, really, throughout the week and always. Great insight, and we'll be tracking it tonight. Thank you.
You bet.
I got a note here from the National Weather Service. So we get all these emails that notify us of warnings and watches and when things have been canceled, when they go into play. Mm-hmm. They also do a good job breaking down what they're seeing with frequent updates throughout the course of the day. And they do this bottom line up front. In other words,
it a lot.
Here's what you need to know about this storm. Then they do a map and kind of a general area of region in the state of Wisconsin that'll be most affected. But the opening line is telling. All hazards of severe weather are possible from now through this evening. Everything. Be on alert.
And then the line after that, tornadoes, a few that may be as strong as EF2, which is what we saw in your neck of the woods, the land in Sussex area, just west of that earlier this week. So if that paints a picture of what we're looking at for you.
It is 2:44 on WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Have you seen my husband?
No.
My husband is hot.
Okay.
And he just keeps getting hotter and hotter.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
But I have good news.
You do?
Hasselus Mattress is home to a variety of cool gel mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic.
No, I mean he's hot.
When he sleeps, I can relate. But our cool gel mattresses sleep an average of 10 degrees cooler than traditional mattresses. So he'll be cool as a cucumber.
Okay, but...
And right now, get 48 months interest-free financing on Tempur-Pedic with approved credit.
Well, that's great, but...
Plus, free next-day delivery and setup, free removal of your old mattress, and a $300 MasterCard gift card with your new Tempur-Pedic.
Hold on. You're saying I can cool down with a new Tempur-Pedic with no interest for 48 months and a $300 gift card?
What do you think?
I think that's pretty hot.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Hey, if you're looking to make it easy for dinner tonight or tomorrow or any meal in between, how about a Screamin' Sicilian from Palermo's? Delicious. They've got a thin and crispy crust version. Then they've got the standard Screamin' Sicilian. I don't think you can go wrong because both are overflowing with toppings. How about this? A buy one, get one at Pick and Save in Metro Market stores right now on Screamin' Sicilian Original and Thin and Crispy. That's through the 21st of April. Take advantage of this buy one, get one offer on Screamin' Sicilian, my personal favorite pizza made by Palermo's. but they're all good. There's a slice for every appetite. You'll love it. It's Palermo's, found wherever you like to shop. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Let's do it. Let's get strange here. We head to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
Hello.
You know, there's enough stress, Greg, associated with flying nowadays. You've got high ticket prices, cramped seats on planes. We saw those recent lengthy hours-long delays due to the TSA and the DHS shutdown. Now you can add animals in the cockpits to that list. Well, that's not actually a cat in the cockpit, but animal sounds were heard over an air traffic control frequency. Not from a cat loose on the plane, but from humans making animal noises. The meowing occurring over the frequency at Reagan National Airport earlier this week. Those pilots were quickly scolded.
You guys need to be professional pilots.
You got to be professional, but the meowing did not stop. In fact, another animal joins the fray.
Meow, 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 meow. This is why you still flying RJ.
So the RJ there is referencing regional jet, and a lot of young pilots get their starts flying regional, like any other industry. The FAA says, and I found this interesting, regulations prohibit pilots from engaging in non-essential conversations when they're below 10,000 feet altitude. So I guess meow away if you're above 10,000 feet, hit the autopilot on and do whatever you want. I think there's a misunderstanding going on here. What I think has happened is these two pilots clearly were not trying to be animals. They had just watched Super Troopers from 2001 and were playing the cat game.
All right, meow, where were we? I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
That audio was captured on ATC.com, which tracks pilot and flight information. So the FAA says they have to authenticize the audio, but if it's real, and it seems that it is, they will look in and investigate once they've verified.
Adam, have you ever helped a frog in heat cross the road during mating season?
Not physically.
Well, if you're in Poland, you could actually do it. The Citizen Frog Patrol in Poland is a volunteer-led initiative dedicated to helping thousands of amphibians safely navigate during the spring migration. Well, here's the problem. They're located in a state forest. 10 years ago, there was no road going through the state forest. In other words, frogs had their pick of the litter and really no complications finding their mate for the spring migration.
All right.
Enter a road. Now I got a problem. There's another barrier. So volunteers spring into action on wet, rainy spring evenings. That's when frogs are really feeling it. And frogs and toads can migrate. You can help with the migration. They like it when it's humid. When the humidity is high, that's when frogs come out to play. And they need help getting across the road instead of, getting run over. You could be part of the Frog Patrol.
I wonder if there's a wait list to join that group. I wonder how long the list is of people who want to do this.
I wonder if there's a wait list on the other side when the frogs actually get across the street. Hundreds of participants, including families and children. They wear their yellow reflective vests.
The kids.
And they're labeled Frog Patrol. They also use headlamps and buckets to collect the amphibians and safely walk them across the street. Once collected from the roadside, the volunteers manually carry these frogs in buckets across the dangerous road to nearby marshes where they find their mate and they spawn.
I don't know if I would put that on my resume under community service, though, or if I was applying to colleges. I don't know if Harvard would accept me if I was part of the Frog Patrol, but to each their own.
You never know unless you try. Local organizers estimate they have saved approximately 18,000 amphibians since this began. That's a lot of frogs in one area. The initiative has transformed from a small group into a major community event. Everybody gets behind the Frog Patrol. They want to see more frogs in this area of Poland. Similar groups do this in the United States. There's one I found in Germany. I got kind of down a rabbit hole on this that I didn't expect. And if you'd like to know more about similar wildlife rescue efforts or specific types of amphibians found in Polish forests, well, you can do that on your own time.
Yeah, good luck to you.
It's 2:51. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Thinking of building or remodeling? Then don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour this weekend. See new homes, condos, subdivisions, and lots all over southeastern Wisconsin from MBA Builders. The MBA spring tour sites will showcase new home building trends and floor plans, energy-efficient products, fixtures and appliances, structured wiring, home automation, security systems, and interior design. Don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour, presented by Nuns this weekend. Visit MBAspringtour.com for locations.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
So for those keeping score at home, the early bird gets the worm and the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Oh my gosh, I
right?
almost just spit my tea.
I think that's how it goes, right? I think just want to make sure we got them all straight.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
So subscribe, take us with you wherever you go.
Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Concerns that we'll see big flooding on the streets of Milwaukee once again.
Eric Bilstad.
We're following some breaking news from overseas. The U.S. says the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, completely open.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Looks like it's closed in both directions, Capitol Drive is, between Calhoun and Pilgrim Road.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All of southern Wisconsin under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight, and a storm system, pretty big one, is moving in from Iowa. It's in Wisconsin right now, and it's going to pack a punch here. So pretty much everything is in play this evening. Beautiful dayside high of 76 degrees, a little cooler near the lake. We cool off on the back end of these storms tomorrow. Expect a high of around 50 degrees. Sun will be out eventually here Saturday and Sunday. It's pretty crazy here. We just had a listener send in a picture of the weather happening right now in the Minnesota area. So there's a couple of different waves of this storm, as we talked to with Craig. One moving up from Dubuque, Iowa, into the Madison area. Eventually here, you got another one much further west in Waterloo, about 90 miles away from Dubuque. But that's a long, narrow line that goes all the way up into Minnesota. And confirmed tornado, an amazing picture here sent in by a fan.
Yeah, comes to us from Dakota County. So this is southeast Minnesota in the Simpson area. It's an unincorporated community, so very rural part of the state, not too far away from the Winona and La Crosse area, kind of splitting right in between the middle. And yeah, obviously that is pretty gnarly to not only have that picture, but to be so close to it as well.
We put it up on our stream here. Just text the word watch to 855-616-1620. If you're following us on YouTube, you'll see what we're talking about here. That is clear. It is defined. It is big. And you mentioned it's kind of a rural area in Minnesota, so you don't see any farmhouses or barns or silos or homes or schools or anything in this picture. And it's a relatively small swath of land, but that's a pretty big funnel cloud that's working its way through that area. So everything is in play tonight, according to the National Weather Service and all the meteorologists that we've spoken to today, and packing a punch here. So expect your evening commute may be threatened by rain. The severe weather, the intensity picks up as we get a little closer to dinner time. And then could be multiple waves of this. So once we get out of tonight, there could be some lingering showers tomorrow. We eventually see sun and cooler temperatures, but just the ability to dry out over the next few days, everybody's going to need it.
Absolutely. This has just been, I know we are comparing and contrasting the floods of last August, and we're not at that level yet, but it has been real. The impacts have been real, and we're very close to it. By the way, stay close to 620 WTMJ. We will be in Brewers mode tonight as they're taking on the Miami Marlins. However, if any tornado warnings come through in the WTMJ listening area, we will, of course, break in and get you that important information you need to know.
Adam will be here. Craig Copleen will be here. We'll have many of our WTMJ staff sort of out in the field, kind of reporting on what is happening in our area. Hopefully it's a calm night, but right now it appears that this storm is packing a punch with the potential for just about anything. Had a lot of fun here on Wisconsin's Midday News today and throughout the week. If you missed any bit of our shows, check out our podcast page, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast page. It's built by Siding Unlimited. You subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and you can listen at your leisure. Also, the YouTube stream. Check out our YouTube page. All you got to do is search 620 WTMJ on YouTube. You'll find us. You can subscribe. You can watch our programs each and every day. Thanks to Adam Roberts for sitting in for Jessica. She'll be back on Monday. Wisconsin's Afternoon News begins in just a few minutes here on WTMJ.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet.